streaming. I got the green light. As far as I am aware, we should be live. Should be live. Should be streaming. Let me go in and do this real quick. A boop.
There we go. Now I got it. Boop, boop.
We'll pin that message. That way people can have it. Because that's the Discord up there. Yes, we are an hour early. So people that do discover us will discover us randomly. But that's fine. That's fine. We usually like to give it the 10 minutes anyway. And it'll give people a chance to get the notifications and whatnot. Because we are early. We're an hour early, and people got very used to the idea of it being at a very specific time. Not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that was a good thing for a long time. But that's also part of what this episode is going to be talking about is what's good and what's bad one way or another, actually. Oh, crap. There we go. Did I just
screw? Crap.
There we go. There, that's fine. Fixed it. I got it. It's already set to live chat, so it's not set to the the top chat, which has been causing a problem, so I fixed that. Because I didn't realize it was doing that automatically. So for a while there, we were like doing the show, and then people were like, how come my comments aren't showing up? And I'm like, what are people talking? Oh.
Yep, exactly.
I think it happened a couple of times where Nick was like, hey, we're on top chat or whatever. And I would have to change it in the middle of the show. So I took care of that. That should be fixed. What's going on, Jake? Yes, we are an hour early. It's the end of year episode. We have a lot to talk about. So we're in here early.
Oh. That we got people that got to leave here in about an hour or so.
Right.
Yep.
So, earlier episode...
And there, link to the thing.
Earlier episode, not as long.
And we have the whole current crew, so that's fine. We're not missing anybody today. Fucking Shane was here early.
Right?
Yeah, that was terrifying.
We're going to do an episode early, and all of a sudden Shane's like, I'm here. We're like, how come we start on time and it takes you 5 minutes to poop?
I just woke up and I saw the message.
Right.
Fair.
No, I just thought that was funny. I was like, what the shit? Because I expected that we'd be in it for a little while. Like, I thought at least 9:30 or so, 9:40, and then he would probably wake up and see that we were live or whatever and jump in like he did last time. I did not expect him to just be here already. Yeah. But
it's a pleasant surprise.
So more Ultraman. No.
Definitely not.
This is going to be a big part of this episode, and we're going to get into that as we go. And once we hit 9:10, that's our normal jump. Right now we're only like 3 minutes into stream or whatever. Once we hit the 10 minutes live, the show will actually begin, and I'll tell you what we're doing. This is going to be a big end of year discussion because there's a lot to talk about.
Would you also like me to talk about the new YuYu Hakusho Netflix series since I watched it?
Is it terrible? Because the preview that I was looking at looks like it's fucking terrible.
From what I've heard from people, it's fan-fucking-tastic.
Really?
I can tell you about it if you guys want. If that's a topic that we can make room for.
Is it good or bad? That's what I really want to know. Because both me and Michelle looked at the preview. We watched all 5 previews, and both of us kind of looked at each other and went, "Yeah, let's move on."
Okay, so let's start with the fact that it's only 5 episodes.
And it seems like it cuts through most of the entirety of the first. I saw Togoro in less than like 5 episodes, and they cut all the way through season 1. Like,
I'm going to tell you right now, when you talk about season 1, Yusuke dying still happens.
Right.
The way he got resurrected, a little bit different. The way he met Kurama, somewhat the same way with the mirror and him wanting to sacrifice his life to save his mother's.
How long are episodes?
The shortest episode is 44 minutes.
I just feel like we're really blazing through.
They did. That is one of the things they cut out. If two of the biggest story arcs of season 1 they cut out was the Genkai tournament
What?
and the
How do
where
you
they
skip the Genkai tournament? How do we get Genkai without the tournament?
she's introduced because basically Kowima tells Botan that Yusuke basically needs to be to train because while he can use spirit energy, he's still a novice.
So
at
wait,
it.
he's just like sent to Genkai like she's on the fucking Spirit World's payroll? Because that's bullshit.
They do send him and Kuwabara force joins because he feels like it.
What the what?
Yeah. Well, you remember that Genkai did train Kuwabara, but it was after the Genkai tournament and everything because he learned new sword techniques and stuff.
No,
He
he
learned
trained himself.
sword get even longer.
He trains himself. I
Yeah.
don't know how long it's been since you watched that anime, but one of the problems, and I posted this today on my anime topic, my biggest problem with those shows is that you think there was a bunch of training and accomplishment and shit. There wasn't. It went from the Genkai tournament, then she goes, okay, you're going to be trained. And he's like, no, I'm going to take time off because this was a bunch of bullshit. And she's like, no, this whole thing was for me to find somebody to pass my teachings on to, whether it be you or a demon. You won. You're going to get this whether you like it or not. Then 2 weeks, that's it, Shane. 2 weeks go by and we meet back up with Kowabara and Yosuke is 40 times stronger than he was, which makes no fucking sense at all. And all of a sudden, Kuwabara is also like 4 or 5 times stronger than he was and has a whole bunch of new sword techniques and can do it without the hilt and everything. And I'm like, what happened? It's been 2 fucking weeks. That's not a long time.
Well, the training that they go through, she still trains him on how to balance on that spike to control his spirit energy.
Right.
That's still in the show. The way he learned his spirit gun, Koenma was showing him that he needs to focus energy on the tip of his finger. The way he fought that demon that had the orb that stole children's souls that he ate, he still killed him the same way with shoving something in his mouth and then blasting him.
Are you thinking this is good? Because on a personal level, it sounds like they've changed a lot.
Okay, so 5-episode miniseries. There was 112 total episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho. If you don't care about season 3 or 4, then that's fine. So then you just cut that down. Maybe like 60 something episodes that were actually good. The story beats are still there. You can still see it. The other story arc they cut out from season 1 is when they go to the spirit world.
Okay, so here's my problem, though. You just said the story beats are there, but I think that people are misunderstanding parts of the story beats, and that's that Yosuke is the kind of person that jumps and then figures it out on the way down. And that's part of what the spirit gun was about, is the reason they give him that move is he uses it once a day. And he chooses to use it to shoot a teacher. And it's a big funny moment, but it's a brazen, he gets satisfaction real quick from this one spontaneous moment. Like, haha, that was awesome. And then he pays for that by getting his ass kicked later in that episode because he wasted his biggest gun on doing nothing.
So basically what happens is that Koenma did teach him how to use the spirit gun in the anime to shoot his teacher. Well, he does not shoot his teacher in the live action. Instead, Koenma teaches him the spirit gun and that fight he has with that demon that eats the souls. In the anime, that first fight, he got fucking wrecked.
He loses, which is a learning point for him because if you watch his character development, he goes from being a guy that is brazen and just does things to being a guy that strategically thinks out his fights.
Now, because that fight there was 2 fights between him and that demon. He won the second fight. In this
new one, there's just one fight.
There's one big, and the fight's longer. He actually does hold his own, but he does get his ass kicked like most of the fight. He does get some good shots in and stuff. and then finally beats him at the end with shoving something in his mouth to keep his mouth open, and then fires the spirit gun into his mouth. So that guy died the same way he died in the anime.
Yeah, but we've lost a learning point.
Yo, hold on, I'm not done. Because they condensed this son of a bitch so far, dude, that I'll get to that in a sec. The other story arc that they cut out from season 1 was when they go to the spirit world and they fight the 4 sacred beasts.
Okay.
That's when those Makai insects were.
So wait, that entire thing is missing?
Yep, that's the insects that
what the fuck are we doing with this show?
Toguro and
We didn't do anything with this show.
Are they
Netflix
trying to
fucked up.
rush? Are they trying to rush to the Dark Tournament because it was the best part of the anime?
Oh, let's get to that.
Because I would hate to waste the Dark Tournament on a series that is rushing like this. Because then the series is just going to be dead.
Don't worry, they rushed it.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Let me explain. So you guys know that I think they called it a Hook Neck Isle is where the Dark Tournament was at.
Okay.
Well, that island is still in the live action, and it looks almost exactly like it did in the anime. Now, but instead of it being a tournament ground in the demon world, remember that human guy that was trying to merge the demon world with the human world?
Yeah.
That guy, the guy that ran Team Toguro, that island is his home. And Yusuke and them are invited to his home to have somewhat of a little tournament against Team Toguro.
Somewhat of a little tournament, like not the Dark Tournament, like not a fucking.
Nope. Because you remember
It's the Dark Tournament light.
They basically took the storyline where Yusuke and them go to rescue Hiei's sister. They combined, and that was the first time they fought Toguro. Well, they do fight Toguro in the same manner. They're still going there to rescue Hiei's sister. They also, another thing they changed is that they kidnapped Keiko, and Keiko is on that island way earlier than she was supposed to be because she didn't learn about demons and stuff until the Dark Tournament. Well,
I'm personally feeling like I'm not loving what you're telling me.
Well, they did the Dark Tournament on this island.
Did they?
It was Team Yusuke. It was Team Urameshi versus Team Toguro, and that was it. Because Karama did fight Karasu, and Hiei did fight Bui, and he did use the Dragon of the Darkness Flame.
Yeah, but with no.
And
it just seems like they're rushing to like cool moments. They just want the cool moments, but they don't want the character development that it takes to get there. Like shooting the guy through the mouth. That's a strategy that he composes because he's already been beat by him once, and he knows that fucking around and wasting your best weapon right out the gate is a bad idea. But now we don't have that teaching moment. He just knows that for some reason. And now we go to the Dark Tournament, and they're like, oh, okay, we have to have the Darkness Flame because it's really cool, so find a way to put it in there. Like, this sounds like they're just looking for fucking highlights and dropping it in. And right here, he's saying on the chat, he says they want the greatest hits. YuYu Hakusho, the greatest hits.
Well, here's the thing, Bill. You ready for me to really piss you off?
I guess, whatever. Sure, why not?
So here he is.
Bill enjoys getting pissed off.
What was one of the biggest defining moments for Yusuke in that entire anime? And that is the death of Genkai.
Okay.
Genkai does die off screen.
What?
Because Toguro shows up at her house, they talk, he bulks up, and then they pan to Yusuke, and then when they go back to Toguro, there's a giant hole in her fucking wall, and then when he walks away, she's laying in like a small little crater dead.
We don't see the fight or anything, huh?
Nope, but she already passed over the spirit wave to Yusuke.
We have 5 fucking episodes, 5 hours. Like, how can anybody even give a shit about these characters?
It's extremely difficult because, believe it or not, one of the characters that has...
Say this was your introduction to YuYu Hakusho. You know nothing. Do you give a shit about these characters at all?
No.
Nope.
Really?
No,
it's
not from what you're telling me, no.
No, the believe it or not, the person that has probably one of the more character developments is Kuwabara.
Kuwabara.
And Kuwabara is still the same guy he is, an honorable friend, somebody that, Kurama. Now, I
Did
also
they
want
give him the pompadour?
to, it's not quite it's not quite a pompadour.
Then they ruined a perfectly.
I seen him. He's basically got fucking frosted tips.
Oh God, no!
So then,
He looks. In fact, Michelle said it. Michelle said, "Who is that?" And I said, "I'm pretty sure that's Kuwabara." And she goes, "What?
yes, and I guess
Why is he from one fucking direction?" Like,
so basically, you get to see Kurama does transform into his demon form. Also, they don't call them demons in this show; they call them yokais,
that's
Yeah.
fair.
which is fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
it's
you
more
guys
accurate.
you guys remember in the '90s how dubbing anime was we kind of didn't do a very good job over here. We
Oh
messed
yes,
up
I
with
know.
translations. They don't call him Urameshi. It's Urameshi. And I think we translated that shit wrong back in the 90s.
So
We probably did.
that's not necessarily a bad thing to fix it.
They-
But we had this discussion a little while back. Sometimes things get drowned into the subconscious and pop cultural idea, and you can't necessarily change them. But if you're going to make that argument, when they redid Sailor Moon, they fixed all the names.
I will tell you this.
So, I mean, there's an argument to be had to do it, but then you look at something like Final Fantasy, and her name is still not Tina, it's Terra. But
So-
it's not supposed to be. Her name is supposed to be Tina.
So I'm also going to tell you guys this. When you watch it, if you watch, okay, so it's a Netflix series, but all the actors are Japanese. Fine by me. It's a Japanese
Right,
adaptation.
that's fine.
I don't care. If you watch it in English, obviously their words don't match with their mouths because they're speaking Japanese.
Well,
and
it's an
we
overdub.
overdubbed it. The voice actor for Kurama, or the guy who dubs over Kurama, is Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, I
So
heard.
that's pretty cool. I also say that because I do appreciate them changing it to yokai because that's exactly what fucking Kurama is. But they do still call it the demon world, but they're yokais. They rushed it so quickly because when I was watching it and I noticed that they were going to fight the Team Toguro and I was like, oh, so we're already at the Dark Tournament. Cool. What episode am I on? 4? Okay. And I was just watching it. And I'm thinking, and I'm talking to myself this whole time, and I'm thinking it's supposed to be an adaptation. Of course, they're going to change things. I already knew that they condensed.
Well, I'm
this
glad
shit
for you
down.
telling me this because I'm not going to give them a view because it'll screw up the algorithm and make them think that they need to make a second part.
Let me tell you this right now.
That's one of the things that I actually don't like about streaming nowadays is we have what's known as hate watching, where like a show will come out that is very bad, that is blatantly not supposed to exist, and people will watch it and then they'll review it, and then all the people that see the reviews and know that it's fucking shit will go out and watch it, and then it'll come up as like #1 on fucking Netflix or some shit, and then it'll get a
Yep.
sequel.
Well,
That's
not
what
quite.
happens.
Well, not quite. It's #2 on Netflix right now.
See? What the fuck?
But here's the issue, I know that the show was still in production when One Piece came out. One Piece was actually done fairly well.
I've heard that. I've heard that the One Piece went over very well.
One Piece was good.
I heard
Now,
that you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to understand that it is very much a live action anime, and that you're going to get what you're going to get.
And
But
it's
I've heard
10
that they did a good job with One Piece.
and it's 10 episodes instead of 5, and they go all the way up to Arlong. So they start from when Luffy meets that kid on Velveeta, that one pirate woman's ship when he
Right.
breaks out of the barrel, and all the way up until they defeat Arlong. That's all of season 1, but they hit the main points: the Black Cat crew, meeting Nami, meeting the way that he got Usopp. All that stuff is still for the most part identical to what they did in the anime. but they just condensed it because One Piece has over 1,000 episodes, and you can't do that in live action. It's too much.
No, but you could follow the manga and cut out all the filler, and you could have still done a damn good series, and
Now,
it would have had no problem.
Yu Yu Hakusho tried to combine season 1 and season 2, and hitting the most important beats of that anime, but they missed out on certain story arcs.
I don't know, like all of the fucking character development.
That like I also have to tell you this. Hiei is not my favorite character in that. I don't even know if I like Hiei.
Why?
They kind of ruined my character. He doesn't. Listen, for the most part, Yusuke acts like he's supposed to. He was a fucking thug that didn't give a shit about school and stuff. Blah blah blah. He had a mom that was at home that didn't really care what he did.
Yeah, but there's an underline to why his mom.
Yes.
I don't think. I think you really need. You owe it to yourself. Okay, so I've told people this a lot. If you watch a show when you're a kid, you never watch the show. You've never fucking seen it because you were too young to understand the story beats and character tropes that were being laid down. Do you know what his mom was, by chance?
I have an idea.
What?
Prostitute.
Yes, it is heavily implied that she is a prostitute and that Yosuke was a mistake baby. And that she's just dealing with the repercussions of now she has a kid. Not that she doesn't love him, but now she's alone, a prostitute in Japan, no money, and trying to take care of a kid. And his upbringing, because of that, is very rough. And she's stressed to the point of absolute break because of this.
Oh, we know that she loves him because when he did die, she did act the way she did in the anime where she sat in the corner at his wake and didn't say anything. Then sat there by his body like she did in the anime and cried. I mean, she does care. But it's the fact that, like, okay, for instance, you guys know how Yusuke got resurrected. You know, Keiko had to give him a kiss to give the life energy to transfer into his body for him to come back to life.
If Kawabara would have stepped up, he could have given the kiss.
It's true, he could have.
But instead, he was all too manly and scared of his makeout session dream.
Yep. I think that would have been funnier.
That would have been funny as shit.
But so you guys remember how he had to take care of that spirit egg?
Yes.
That spirit beast, and then he threw it into the fire to save Keiko. Now his house still burns down, but instead of the spirit beast, there's a fucking pillar that's about to, or a beam from the ceiling of the roof that's about to fall on Keiko, and he catches it with his spirit energy while he's still a spirit. He makes the deal with Koenma, and Koenma just puts him back into his body. There's no transfer of life between kissing, which in the anime was a big deal because you could tell that Keiko had a thing for Yusuke and Yusuke had a thing for Keiko, but you really did see that when he was gone, how much she truly cared about him. He was only dead for like fucking goddamn. He died in the first episode. I think he was only dead for like fucking 20 minutes.
Oh, what a shame. It's terrible.
So it rushes a lot of stuff. And I read about it before I even watched it, and I knew that they cut a lot of stuff, and it is a super condensed adaptation.
Well, you've convinced me. I'll not watch it, and I'll look forward to what's happening on the 25th of fucking January.
Yes, He-Man.
Yes, He-Man. That's right. That's exactly right, motherfucker. Because that show is going to be good.
But what happens?
Granomir is going to be in this in Revolution. Fucking Granomir.
What happens if you watch this and it's not good?
It's going to be good, though. I don't have to worry about that. It's already got fucking Iron Man in it.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Fucking Randor is made a robotic fucking oversuit by Man-at-Arms.
Oh,
and he's very much fucking Iron Man. It's even red and gold. He fucking flies around, he lands, the fucking faceplate opens, he's like, having a little trouble, son, and he shoots big lasers and missiles and shit. He's fucking Iron Man. King Randor is Iron Man for Motu now.
See, I thought you meant that like Robert Downey Jr. was voicing somebody in the show. That would have been cool. But no.
I would have been happy about that.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I probably saved you guys some time. Personally, if I had to tell you, if you want to watch a live adaptation, just go check that One Piece out. That's actually worth watching.
I mean, to be fair, you didn't save me any time, but that's because I'm too broke to afford Netflix.
Well, that's yeah, it's fine. But once you can afford Netflix again, you can take solace in knowing that you don't have to watch it. I watched it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I have zero fucking interest.
Oh, and the CGI and stuff for the most part is okay, but older Tagoro is nightmare fuel.
Oh, the
He's
little
great.
guy on his shoulder. I seen it.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking it's kind of terrifying a little bit actually. Like, and maybe they made it that way because that guy, his character is actually kind of terrifying.
Could
But
be.
yeah, and like I said, uh, the spirit sword kind of looks like a. Well, they even changed the color. It was orange in the anime. It's blue. It's blue in the live action.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but that's my talk.
no, I'm
That's
not
my
watching it.
contribution. Here's my contribution. So whatever you guys got to talk about, we'll talk about.
Well, actually, that's the entire point of today's episode is to talk about the end of year. So look, we got some real shit to talk about here. There's a couple of things that are being discussed for next year after the break. One big thing is that we're talking about an absolute, well, let's call it a retcon of sorts. The channel is about to be fucking hardcore rebooted.
Yes, we're retconning it, and we're going to be recasting people.
No, I'm being serious. We're going to once the break goes live and we go on the break, almost the entirety of the channel will be put private. Like literally every single video. There's a reason for this. The videos are fucking broken. It is really hard to find things that you want to find, to watch old content that you want to watch. Most of the playlists are either broken or don't work. We've lost episodes randomly, by the way. This isn't just this channel. Something happened on YouTube, and for some reason nobody's talking about it. Random shit is being deleted. And I mean random. Like, we've lost a lot of episodes that just happened. And I realized it on my personal channel first, because I do a lot of annotations and whatnot. And the next thing, that, like, I noticed out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, I was like, okay, so I'm doing this video, and I'm like, hey, here's this thing. You'll notice that I actually discussed this when they released the cartoon version of He-Man. Now, when I went back in and I was editing, I was like, now I gotta find the annotation for that video. And I went looking for it, and I was like, wait a minute, where is it? And I get looking, and get looking, and get looking, and it's gone. I mean, it doesn't exist. And I recorded that only about 2 months ago. So then I started getting curious, and I started going back through all the videos that I have on my channel, and I started finding a lot of things that were like randomly missing. No warning about it. So then I came over here to Fandom Knight, and I mean, it did not take me long to find that we are missing random episodes that are just fucking gone. Like no warning, no nothing. They're just gone. Let me set this up real quick. So I'm going to take us over to, there, I'm screen sharing now. And, so there we go. So look, let me move that a little bit. There, that should be fine for what we're going to do. This is what I'm talking about. If you just go down to the very bottom of our videos right here, you'll find that this channel, which this is also wrong, so I don't understand 100% how this happened, but okay, Fandom Knight starts right here with Power Rangers Beats of Power, episode 1, 2, 4. The third one is gone. I mean, it's gone, and there's zero indication as to why it's gone. There's no copyright claim. There's no notification as to it being gone. Nothing. It's just not there anymore. It's an episode that is completely gone with no warning. And I don't even know if these necessarily appear on any playlists or anything, but then there's like, the reason everything's going to go private is the whole video catalog is going to be put private. Then we're going to take every video that exists and put it into a mass playlist for ourselves. And we're going to look it over and we're going to figure some stuff out. There are videos on here that are no longer green content. They're pointless. Like, there's no reason for us to have the videos at all. There's also a lot of content on here in general that not just going away from the idea that they're no longer green content, but other problems as well. Like, either the videos have zero relevance whatsoever, or like they're just bad. That is what it is. Like, okay, so like these episodes at the very beginning, they're broken into segments for some reason, and there's no reason for it. They should have been one episode to begin with. So I don't know what happened there. There's a must-see Star Trek Spock episodes, which I don't know. I'll have to review that because I really don't even know what that is. And I think that video promises something that we never did, because we were supposed to do a bunch of like Leonard Nimoy content, and then we didn't do it. There's a Smash Brothers U discussion. I don't know if that has any relevance whatsoever. I've been having an idea about some of this stuff that does have relevance. Like, there's the Mortal Kombat podcast tournament and podcast 2. Those are actually decent videos. There's 4 turtles for 4 years over there. The turtles.
Yeah, that one was funny.
Play. I think, depending on the size of the video, it wouldn't be a terrible idea that when we do put these back up, maybe some of them need mild edits, and then they get their tags put in correctly from the very beginning, because some of the tags on these videos, some of them are atrocious. Like, you go in and it's like you get 500 characters for tags, and we have like 3 words. And that's it. That's it. You can't find any of the videos if they're not tagged right. There's 0 annotations. There's 0 links to other videos or anything like that. Not everything needs this treatment, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea to maybe take the Mortal Kombat games, make them a single video, edit them correctly, and then do a premiere on the channel for its repost. And I wouldn't cheat that idea. I would very much say that it is a repost. So keep that in mind as well. I don't want to put anything back up that's like a lie. Like, hey, this is a new video. If it's a repost, it'll be a repost.
That's weird.
What?
I'm looking at the Fandom Knight YouTube as well, and if you click, like, I clicked on oldest just to have all those pop up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Fandom Knight plays, part 3 comes up. No problem.
But it's not on the video list. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know what happened, but there's a lot, like, it's weird. But this needs fixed. I need to go through, I need to fix it. Some of these videos need to be redone. And some of them, when they go back up, I want to put repost on them, and I want to do them as premieres. This will turn them into a type of live chat video where we could premiere like one video on like a Wednesday or something, and people could actually come in and discuss on that video, talking about some old topics and whatnot, and kind of getting where our position has changed and whatnot, kind of going back through and discussing some stuff. There's things that no longer really need to be here, like we did a big thick run on like 8th generation stuff. There's no point to it being on the channel at all. The verse video, personally, did not work out, and I don't know that it has any real business sticking around here. It's probably deleted. And then we come to this. The Go Ranger, the JAKQs, the Battle Fever, the Denzimon, the Sun Vulcan, all of these are fine. They're fine. And I think we need to fix some of the old run-ons. There's ones where we cover like 9 different costumes in a single video. We need to fix the tags and make them their own thing. That way, they can actually be found and they would appear in the search engine. And when they go onto the playlists, they would be on the playlist. You would be able to very much find them on the playlist, and then we could do annotations or whatever to other times that we mention them. If we mention them, they'd be findable. If we're like, hey, remember when we talked about Goggle V? I could go in and I could set Goggle V instead of a weird, long, entirely drawn out. It just doesn't make sense. There's things like this Quest 64 review. It's not even a review. It's not even a review. It's not even close when you actually go in and watch that.
Yeah.
Some of these are all fine, but some of these really need fixed. And like greatest moments in Reploid history, we got like 3 through 9 that appear on the main. Did you say you found 1 and 2?
For which one?
The greatest moments.
Greatest moments, no. But
See?
the fandom plays 3. Although to be fair, I also didn't look too hard into the greatest moments.
Well, I'm going through our list right now. We don't have greatest moments 1 or 2. It's like deleted.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are gone.
It's just they're just
gone. We
gone.
did not delete them. There would have been no reason to.
No, we did not delete them. We also do not have, I know you're going to love this, Shane, Final Fantasy Legacy Episode 1 is gone.
Take a guess on what we have to go redo.
We did it. We did that video. We did that video 3 fucking times.
There is a version. It's Final Fantasy 1 Flashback.
But that's
it's
the very
right next
first
to
one we
Disney.
did. That's the first one we did, and it's terrible, and it's one of the ones that I would delete because not because of content or whatever like that. That's not what I'm trying to avoid. It's bad. Like the sound is really messed up and there's like a noise that plays through the entire video. And like every time we talk, it's real loud. It's like, and our voices constantly sound like this for the entire video. And it's really hard to fucking listen to the whole fucking video.
Right. Because I think we were using the single mic.
So what you're saying is that you want to go back and some of our videos that weren't very good or the sound was bad, you want to basically do like a remaster? No, they can go away. I'm not talking about like completely brushing ourselves and creating so much work it's undoable. There's a Metal Gear discussion.
Right.
That can stay. And I think that it wouldn't be a terrible idea to take that video, do a mild re-edit, post that it's a re-edit, okay? Delete the old video, put it into the playlist, fix the tags, and premiere the video. If we premiere it on like a Wednesday, we can do a premiere, set a time, it would go live at that time, and then we could live chat with people as it plays.
Yep.
And it would turn it into a live video just like we already do on this channel, what's become normal for us. And we could replay things like the Final Fantasy Legacy, and even because we'd be on the chat talking live with the people, we'd be able to say, our opinions have changed about this, or this is still kind of the way I feel, or there's a better version of it now. We could be a part of the conversation again while fixing all the old tags and everything, because it would be re-edited, but it wouldn't necessarily be re-edited. It would be reposted so it would come up as a premiere. And it would also allow for fans that have found us recently to know a little bit more about us. There's a lot of people that have currently, or not even currently, some people that have like been here for a couple of years, but they see us as a Sentai show only.
That's not what we are.
It's all they want, it's all they see, it's all they ask for. I'm not complaining about that. Don't misunderstand my quote here. What I'm saying is that they don't know. They literally have zero idea. Most people are not going through our back catalog and seeing that we used to do so much more, and that's what we want to do now. We want to get back to the roots of what the channel originally was, not for views, but because it's getting hard to do the show. So you go through, if we were posting things like the Final Fantasy Legacy, right? And we were posting a couple videos on a Wednesday or whatnot, and then whatever, maybe during the live stream or whatever of the premiere, it comes up, hey, we're going to go and we're going to talk about this. And then we never talked about it. We could do that. We could insert it while we were playing old videos that were catching people up, running as premieres, we could still do our regular posting content. This would help to create a constant posting on the channel. It would fix the playlists in real time. It would re-edit videos and delete content that simply did not matter, that was bogging things down. And then we could go into videos that were super long. Like for the Sentai, there are videos that we get in here and they're long. Like here we talk about Die Ranger for 16 minutes. That's fine. We talk about Kaku Ranger for like 16 minutes. That's fine. This all makes sense. But then we come up and we'll come across these videos where they're like an hour and 40 something minutes because we talk about 9 different things.
Yep.
And they should all have their own video tag. Not even necessarily that we delete the old video. That's fine. If that goes up as a big long form, I can even put on there when I fix it, long form Ranger discussion. And then, that's fine. And then each chapter of it could be broken into its own content to be posted so that if you go looking for us talking about a specific thing, like when people bring up something and they go, oh, well, you never discussed so-and-so, there's now a 15-minute, 20-minute, 9-minute, 15-minute clip of that specific team, which is its own standalone video that we can easily find, easily reference, and easily understand what we missed and or didn't miss at any given time. That would all be live content now.
There's also going to be like a 2-minute review of Soul Calibur 5.
Like there's things that don't need to be on here at all. Like I'll ask the guy who is most tied to it. Are you married to the Fandom Knight Wrestling Corner?
Oh, Jobber Wrestling Corner? Nah, fuck that.
You see what I'm getting at? Like
it was good to go back and kind of like go through, hey, this is where I found my fandom originally, and here's me catching up with it. But after a while, it got back to being too formulaic, and it literally turned into, hey, I'm watching the Goku show. Hey, look, Goku's getting his ass whooped. Oh, hey, look, he powered up magically by just walking around off screen. Why do I give a fuck anymore?
And so I just got my stuff back up so I could look at the live chat, and I've got people that are mad about, oh, well, I'm only here for Sentai. No, some people are not mad. Some people are saying that and I get this. I expect this to happen. If we try to go back to what we were going to cause a little bit of a stint. I get it. I'm not even opposed to it because I fully understand some people are here for the content they're here for. But this would make it easier for you to find that content. Because right now the playlists are broken and videos are missing and some stuff is deleted and we don't know why or how or when it even happened. It's just not there. And then things like things that also need fixed is different things like, okay, so like if we drop the Jobber Wrestling Corner and we just delete those videos, well, first off, that will help the algorithm a little bit because it won't tag us to 1,000 different things necessarily. But you got to think about stuff like there are long videos where they're just labeled like Ranger discussion, right?
Yep.
And then those videos they're discussing like 5 or 6 different things. And if you were to ever say, oh, remember when they talked about so-and-so? Good luck finding it. Those videos need re-edited and broke into chapters for post. They were fine as live content when we just talked about stuff. And I'm not going to change that. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to fix those videos and break them into the segments and then give them their own tags and things so that you could look at it. You could actually find it if you want to do it. That would be perfect, because also for things like the Toku stuff that a lot of our fans come here for, sometimes that material gets buried and you're like, when did they even talk about that? Well, it was in like random video from so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And we could make new playlists depending on this where we could break out certain things like there could be a theories playlist where anytime that we go into a theory, a canon theory, that gets its own segment, that gets its own chapter, it appears as its own video, And then you could find specific conversation points that you were looking for, specific interests, or if you wanted to revisit something that was talked about and you don't know exactly where to find it. Some stuff has no purpose here at all, like the Saturday morning Xcast. Goodbye. That's basically us playing X-Men with a dude that like we literally no longer hang out with, where almost for half the thing he was just doing like Bill Cosby impressions. Why is that still here? Like, come on.
It would also make it easier as well, because if all you want to see is the costume reviews, you could see just the costume reviews. If you want to see the, hey, we broke down this entire series and here's what we think, you could do that as well.
Right.
Like, and
they
not
would each
just
get
for
their own playlists.
Sentai. Right, but not just for Sentai, like even for, hey, because I'm looking at Turtles, here's us breaking down Turtles with Tatsu Construction Company.
Right. And then we could also take very specific bits that if something is somewhat popular, like a long joke or something like that, we could make videos that break into chapters, and that would be fine. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of other things on here, like we did things like there's this micro transaction talk. I don't even know what that is anymore. I mean, I'm sure I get an idea, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to go back through, see some of this stuff, and then get rid of it if it doesn't make sense anymore. Or if it just doesn't play out anymore, if there's really nothing to do with it, then it just needs to go. And then like other things could be fixed. Like the countdown is broken into pieces for some reason. We have 17 to 12, 11 to 9. Like, why wasn't this one video? Like, I get that it would have been long. I'm not disagreeing the fact that it would have been long, but it was meant to be. In fact, when we recorded it as one long mega podcast.
Yep.
Why is it broken into like hour segments when, like I said, I know that it would be a long video. I'm not oblivious to that, but it's also the end of the Final Fantasy Legacy review that talks about all of it. And if you want to listen to a long video, there it is. But like, you'll notice that sometimes people find the countdowns or the discussions and they listen to like part 1, but they don't listen to part 2. And part of that is because they either never got to see part 2 because it doesn't come up in their notifications, or by the time they find the next thing, it's like gone. It's just that this could be fixed. This weird, and like the flashbacks, a lot of the flashbacks could go. Yeah. Because, like I said, the voice quality and everything is just terrible. And not that the videos have any relevance anymore anyway. Old videos like games we're looking forward to, that's probably gone. Any of these videos that are like updates, like things like see you soon and things of that nature, they don't need to be here anymore.
Or one of the, exactly, like one of the ones that literally makes me laugh every time I see it, anytime I run through, because I keep going up and down in the playlist, just kind of looking at videos. And one of the ones that makes me laugh the hardest is Goodbye to YouTube. Man,
holy
how
shit!
Did that one stick?
Right.
I think we missed the mark there, Bill guy.
Because for a while we were leaving YouTube. The idea was to leave and go full podcast, and like that video needs to go. Like we have a Sentai Robot review. It's perfect. It's Leopardon. It's all alone. It's by itself. It talks about the one robot. It's broken into a chapter already. It's a perfect video. It's the perfect video. It'll do everything that I want it to do. It'll appear in the algorithm. It'll go into the playlist. 100% fine. It's fine. Like that. Those make sense to me. But there's a lot of content that's lost. Like we did do big Metal Gear discussions. I don't even remember that shit.
I don't either.
But I've already went through 3. I've been scrolling and I've went through like 3 Metal Gear reviews already. I'm up to Metal Gear 2 MSX.
Yep.
Mega Man 2, there was an NES review. It was like 50 minutes, basically.
Yep.
And then right here, 7 years ago, we did the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, Volume 1 series discussion. That's a lot to say.
Yep.
Jesus, that is a mouthful.
And that video is fine. The video is fantastic, but I'd like it to be in a playlist where it makes sense and it plays out and everybody can find it, and I'd like to fix the tags on it and everything. That video will not be re-uploaded, it will not be changed, and that's what I'm trying to get across here. This isn't like a taking everything down. It would be privatizing the entire channel and then posting it public as each video was fixed so that the tags and everything work. So each video gets a tag, gets put back public, so they get their tags right, they get put on a playlist, and they get made public again. And so the video so the entire channel will be coming back to life, literally day by day, week by week, as we figure out what needs cut, what needs brought back, what needs changed, what needs gone. This would work, and it would be a good deal of work. But I really think it would be worth it, because the channel has diluted, and I've actually hit the mark now. I'm there. Mega Man NES 2 review. And then this is where it seems like it happened. We did the Mighty Morphin Season 1, and then it's Season 2, or rather Season 1, Volume 2. Then it's a robot, Power Rangers movie, Power Rangers Zord, Sentai, talk about Rita, more Sentai, Sailor Moon, still falling into Sentai, Sentai, some jobber.
If you haven't caught on yet, Sentai.
Yeah, some jobber.
You missed some wrestling in there.
Sentai, Wrestle, Sentai,
A website.
crossovers that still bar heavily into Sentai, Sentai, fucking motorcycle Sentai, fucking Sentai, Spider-Man that is still a Sentai. And then, almost a year later, we did a single boxing of the NES Classic. Like, to say we went off the rails here
is an understatement.
We
didn't just go off the rails. We found a way to fly down the highway at 600 miles an hour in a steam locomotive, plowing through every major city that we could, and then flew across the ocean.
I'll say it like Shane said it to me. Shane says, "I love Power Rangers. I'm a grown-ass man still watching it. But I can't talk about it every single day."
I do like other stuff. But
I'm going to be fully honest. I told you guys this, and I'll tell the fans this. With the burnout I've been getting on all the Sentai stuff, and the only thing people are wanting to talk about is Sentai, I'm losing my fan base, or my personal fandom of that. Like, I care less and less, and somebody's like, "Oh man, this new series is coming out. It's actually looking cool." I'll look at it and be like, "Eh."
Well, this happens through burnout, and that's part of what I'm trying. That's also part. I'm trying to reinvigorate. That's another reason for the channel thing, the way that it work, is the idea is that if we restructure the channel and we do the premieres for some of these things, it'll bring back some of the content that we liked, why we did this in the first place, and it may reinvigorate parts of this that we've gotten tired of, because it is hard to run the Sentai at this point. And it's becoming more difficult all the time, and I don't want to give it up. Not because of the viewer base. I'll be honest, we don't get paid for this. If the viewer base dropped off tomorrow, would I be sad? Yeah, but at the same time, we never got paid for this. So that's not my argument at all.
We still don't get paid for this.
But that's exactly what I'm saying, is it's not about money. I'm not worried about losing the viewership. I'm worried about losing the fans necessarily, because there's a lot of people here that we've become very acquainted with. We talk to them all the time. They're in the Discord. They're in the YouTube. They're regular. You get what I mean? I don't want that to drop off. We've built a community here, and I don't want it to go away. But I also don't want us to become burned out. And here's my issue. I don't want to get to a point where I can no longer create the content that people want to see because I don't care about it. One of the things that makes the show so fun is that when we view Rangers, when we view Sentai, when we talk about writers, we're coming from a place of enjoyment. If we fall into a place of, like, resentment, like, oh, fuck, we gotta talk about these fucking Rangers again, that's bad, because we won't be able to produce the content that is needed with the kind of attitude that is needed to uphold that content. We would just be catering, and at that point, the show would die. I don't want it to die. We've done it for way too long. You know what I mean? And we've had some damn good jokes.
We've done this
and some
show
damn
for
good times.
almost 15 years now.
Let me go over to Reploid Productions here. The very first video, Reploid Productions preview. It says 13 years ago. Let's see if they still post the legitimate date.
That's why I said almost 15 years.
Yeah, May
Our first-
25th, 2010.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's been a minute.
We-
We started this show.
In 2010.
We started this show the year I got back from the army.
The very
Yep.
first thing we did was the Sands of Time review.
Yes, which is actually right there.
Yep.
It says where it all started. It was reposted to this channel 6 years ago. And the only reason it went up was just kind of like say, damn, we've been doing this for a while. Check this out. And we posted like young us's. Young
Yep.
robot us's.
Well, here's the, so
I mean, Jesus, I showed the thumbnail to Mary, my girlfriend, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. No,
Like, yeah, I'm
absolutely.
old now.
Hold on.
It's
Do you want live reaction? Hold on. Hey, baby. Here's the very first fucking Fandom Night video I ever did. Right there. There's the thumbnail.
all right. So
Oh yeah, Bill had
I
hair
look
then.
fat. My
Yeah, I
wife
had
said
hair.
I look fat.
I had a lot of hair. Like,
Look fat. You still
Yeah, I know.
are.
okay,
no, he's
so
actually
apparently I
smaller
look
than he
fatter.
was.
Ah,
No, he
it's
was.
true.
Yeah, he's smaller than he was. That
Here,
gets
hold
lost.
on.
If you
I-
watch the old videos, you can tell Seth actually dropped size.
Wife
This is
cringed at
true.
me. My wife just cringed at a picture of me from the thumbnail from the I Have Spoken videos.
Oh shit! These will not go anywhere. Right here, this is Proto Guy is missing. That's gonna stay on the channel. That's a fucking fantastic video right there because he was tempted into the woods with promises of gumdrops, lollipops, and adventures and never came back.
Yep. He never came back.
Never came back.
Did you, Proto Guy?
actually, I'm Proto Guy 2.0. Proto Guy 1.0.
I
still
remember I
looking for it.
posted
In the
that video.
woods.
I posted that video and I remember people like, wait, is he actually not coming back?
Yes, guys.
Proto
was
Guy
like, no,
1.0 went into the woods, was dismantled and rebuilt.
Yeah, it was
He has a
fantastic.
doppelganger.
See, like that stuff stays, but you can see it right here as I'm going through. These are just Sentai upon Sentai upon Sentai upon Sentai. I'm going waves. I'm almost 2 years up before we hit
All right.
like a doctor review.
So here's the thing I want to talk about real quick. It's not going to be real
We
quick.
need to
It's actually
fix the
gonna be-
rotation if we want to keep it going. And part of fixing the rotation is going to be going back in and fixing all the videos. And some videos could be deleted and redone. Look, I don't know anything about these doctor reviews. I'm more
Oh, they
than
could
willing
probably-
I'm
they
more than
could
willing to
probably go
listen to.
away.
Well, I don't know. Because some of them were fine little podcasts. One or two of them are not. I do remember specifically one or two of them are not. But if it starts a doctor's list and then allows you to discuss it from time to time should you choose to, I'm not against that. Even Gundam. Look, Gundam came up as the Sentai Review, episode 143, Gundam. No, that needs fixed. Because that also bleeds into the concept that all we're doing is talking about Sentai even when we go into another subject. The Sentai Review, episode 145. The Doctor's Review? No. No, it is not. That's a doctor video. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be retagged. It needs its own marking. It needs its own title, and it needs to go into its own playlist. So if people are interested in talking about Doctor Who, I'm not against that. We're a fandom channel. But it's not Sentai. And we're burning ourselves out by doing dumb shit like that when we say, hey, let's talk about Gundam. This is a Sentai review episode. No, it's not. That puts an idea in your head that even when we get away from the Sentai, we're not getting away from the Sentai. There's no breathing room when you talk to yourself like that, because subconsciously, you're putting yourself there all the time, even when we're not there. That needs to be fixed. Those videos need to be fixed.
See, right here, never knew you talked about that.
No, that happens all the time. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Because the videos don't appear in the algorithm and you can't find them on the playlist. And even if you went scrolling through, even if you typed like Fandom Knight and then typed like certain things like Godzilla, there's no guarantee you'll find the Godzilla videos, especially not all of them. Maybe you'll find one, but I don't even know about that because it depends on what the tags are. I looked at some of these tags, and with 500 characters, we have like 4 words.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as easy as Sentai Review, Fandom Knight, and then it'll say something like ReploidBill, and then it'll say like Scott Jackson or something like that, and then it's that. That's it. It's like 4 words, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, nobody's ever going to find that video. It's dead. It's completely dark listed at that point. It's dead. So I want to fix the playlists. I want to fix the channel. And I don't want to hurt the channel when I do it. And I want to try to bring back why we did it in the first place. And I think once we do this for a little while, once we get things running, I hope it reinvigorates us.
So,
Well, the upside is, I mean, we could keep like all the live streams there.
Yeah,
Those are fine.
but they do have
We're
to
not
be...
going to privatize though, or we don't have to privatize them per se.
I do, because I have to privatize them while I go in and fix all their tags. I have to retag every live video because there's no tags on them. I have to retag the videos. I have to post them to playlists. I have to note annotations if annotations exist, and then I need to put them back in. And some of them may need to be broken into sections because the live video may talk about 2 things the whole live video, and they would be easier to find if like, hey, this is us talking about a certain video game, and I just break that off into its own video and delete the old live stream. It would help people find content. I'm talking about basically what this project would be future proof. Because right now the channel is not future proofed. It's hard to find what you're looking for. And some of this stuff, like, look at this. I just ran into it right here. Episode 182, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5. Why? It's not that I don't understand that it'll be a long fucking video. But why was it done like this?
That I could not tell you because I was not in charge of that.
I got a 51-minute video here, a 54-minute, 35-minute, 23-minute, 1 hour. Am I oblivious to the fact that that's now a 4-hour video if I fix it? No. But I will tell you that I remember these videos, and sometimes you're watching them, and in the middle of a sentence, the video will just stop. And you've got to go find part 2. And if you never found part 2, or it never came up, or it wasn't on a playlist, maybe you never even fucking heard it to begin with. That should just be made one video and posted. And I know there'll be long videos, but is our fan base against long videos at this point?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they love the fact that they can literally queue something up and listen.
Right.
Or watch.
So I should fix those videos. That's part of future proofing. I would like it if the Space Rangers Part 2 was one fucking video. Not 51 minutes, 56 minutes, 42 minutes, 52 minutes. I get that it's a 4-hour video if I do that. But I'd rather have it one discoverable 4-hour video than 4 parts where one part can randomly get lost and you may never finish that review at all. Especially when you can queue it up while you're working and listen to it like a podcast and who gives a shit. Like, these need fixed. All these videos need fixed and reposted. And that weird fucking creepy smile thing that Bill is doing right here, that needs fixed. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that guy. Past Bill is creepy and weird. He's all... Look at him.
I have a question, real quick. Do we have any other topics for this episode?
we're trying to go over what's going to happen when we do the reboot.
Okay, so I actually have something.
It's also a bit of a retcon. I'm trying real hard to stress the idea that we're not leaving anything behind. And I don't want to end the fucking series or whatever. That's not my intention. It's not a reboot like, hey, we're going to delete everything and redo a bunch of videos. I don't want that impression out there. I want people to understand that I'm trying to fix the channel.
All right, so I want to take 5 minutes of this episode, and I want to talk about some stuff.
Yeah, do it.
So here's what I want to talk about. Anybody that really knows me knows that I don't like talking about how we're at the end of the year. So end of the year, last episode of this year. When we come back, it's a new year, fresh start, fresh year. And with changes, a lot of people don't like change. And listening to how you guys you guys feel about what's been going on with the show, especially this past year. This hasn't really been a very good year for me.
Right.
And so I've been having to take a pretty good hard look at myself and realize what I want and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been a revelation, really. Things have been, I don't really don't know how to put it. Things have been I've been feeling off a lot.
Yeah.
And anybody knows that I don't really talk to the fans. You guys know that. You guys know that when you guys do your guys' chats, your Discord calls and stuff, you guys know I'm never in there. And it's not because I don't like the fans. I really don't. I don't have a problem with you guys. You guys don't bother me one bit. Regardless.
Y'all don't bother me. It's cool.
You guys don't. You guys don't. But when it comes down to it, is that we started this show a long time ago, and if this upsets anybody, I apologize. And if this makes me a little bit of an unpopular person on the show, I've never really cared what people thought about me, so I don't really care. We didn't do this for the fans. We did this for us. And then eventually it became about the fans. And when you do these kind of things, we realize that it's about the fans. But at the same time, we have to be able to do things that we want to do that are going to be different. And basically how I like to put it is that to help take care of you guys, to get the content that you guys want, we have to take care of ourselves first. The mental burnout of all the stuff that we've been doing, the slogging through the folders when we do Riders, Sentai, regardless, because it's starting to get bad. And I'm probably one of the biggest Power Ranger fans in this group. Fuck, if you've seen the room I'm sitting in, there's a ton of fucking Power Ranger shit in this room. So I could probably talk about it more than anybody else in the group, or longer, because it's something that I do like, that I feel like I'm a little bit more passionate about because of everything. But when it comes down to it, going into next year, fixing the playlists, categorizing them, making it easier to find stuff, doing content that we want to do. So instead of, oh hey, this episode will be a Sentai episode, you'll find it in the Sentai tab. But this episode we're going to talk about gaming. That's in the gaming category. Instead of like how Bill was talking about, when we talked about Gundam was in the Sentai in the Sentai stuff. Shouldn't be. Should be in its own damn thing.
Right. And
it's not like we're not going to stop talking about Sentai, but it's not going to be a focal point anymore. We're going to go. We want to go back, and I've listened to you guys. I don't respond much in Messenger. I don't think that I don't read every single message or know what's going on, because I do. I just don't say anything because I don't really have anything to say. And if I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to say anything. But I do have.
Do you hear that, Bill? When he has nothing to say, his lips are sealed.
Especially when it comes to social media. I don't really like social media.
And now that my fucking mic is fixed, I'll let you finish up, and I'll make the fucking dumbass joke I've been trying to make for the last 30 fucking minutes.
He's going to let you finish, but...
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Not all of us, finish quick like you.
Oh, shit! Oh. What the fuck? This dude's firing shots in here.
But
that's because he doesn't like it when I take 2 hours.
But anyway, so I've even wanted to I've been thinking about some stuff. You know, I've even pitched the idea to my wife about maybe streaming, maybe doing more. How do I put it? I know this is not a show. Our show is not something we shouldn't be. It's not about our personal lives. Talking about our personal life. If you know, we can make another channel for that if possible, if anything. But I don't see us doing that.
Excuse me.
When I don't like talking about personal stuff to really anybody because that's just how I am.
Right.
But when it's time for me to talk about stuff, it's difficult. And so what I'm trying to really convey here is I've been feeling kind of empty. Like I'm 35 and I really don't feel like I've accomplished anything. Basically, let's go ahead and put it. I don't really care. Midlife crisis. We'll go ahead and call it that.
You've hit that zone in your life. Look, we're all in our upper 30s, okay? That's fair.
I'm in my mid 30s.
Well, I mean, I will be in 10 days.
But let's be honest about this. When you hit that mark, okay, and you start to realize, and this is something that I had to come to grips with a long time ago. I really did. I had to realize that I work. I'm just a working guy. That's what I do. And I work a fucking blue-collar labor job. And chances are, I will do that until I die. And I will never make a lot of money. I will never necessarily starve. But I will never necessarily make it. And it's going to be the small things that are important to me that are going to matter in that long run, because the idea of accomplishment, it's an illusion. Just like stability. Your dad worked at what he thought was something stable since he was like fucking 17. And then one day, out of nowhere, they come up to him and they hand him a piece of paper and they go, if you'd like to paint the machines, you have another week of work. Otherwise,
get out.
You're retired.
Get the fuck out.
And he ended up where we are. And it, like, he's in his, I mean, by that time, you're like in your 50s and you're like looking for work. That is excruciating. And I get it because you look at yourself and you go, have I really accomplished anything? Have I really done anything? And that's tough. That's hard to look at. I know that we try not to get super personal in here, but realistically, in a strange way, a lot of what we review in fandom talks about stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, it really does. A lot of fandom discusses principles like that and talks about these heroes that, like, let's look at Power Rangers for a minute. They're in high school and they've accomplished more in their life than you'll ever do before you die. They're like they're like motorcycle racing and doing kung fu competitions and saving the world and doing like all kinds of stuff for the, you know what I'm talking about? Like they're the most accomplished people you've ever seen in your entire life. And there does come a point when you like compare yourself to your heroes and you go, have I done fucking anything?
Well, that's because they peaked in high school.
Well, but no, not just fucking.
And everybody knows that last year I lost a childhood hero of mine.
Yes,
so,
yes, and that hits home in a way that most people don't realize. It's one thing like say you were born sometime like in the mid. If you were born like in 2010.
Close to when your daughter was born.
Right. Let's give it a little more age. Say you're 16 or even 18. You're still young enough that when Jason David Frank passed, it was like, oh, that sucks. But you didn't live with the shock. That was like the hero. You get what I'm like? For you, that was like the hero you grew up with. He's like this invincible figure, both on and off camera.
When Power Rangers came out in 1993. I was 5 years old. I was watching Power Rangers since I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same.
I've got to
I'm
bounce. So
Okay. No, that's
All right,
fine.
buddy.
see you
Right on.
guys.
Later on.
later on,
Later,
man.
man.
I'm 35 now. That's 30. That's 30 years of Power Rangers watching, and I have seen a lot. I've watched every single Power Ranger series that has come to the States.
Okay.
And so losing all that, I mean, I grew up with, the Power Rangers, growing up with wanting to be like the Green Ranger. He was always my favorite. And then when so that triggered something, I think. And I can see, I don't really care if anybody thinks it sounds stupid. I really don't. Because I didn't personally know the guy. Yeah, I met him, but I didn't know the guy. And I get it. But that's not the point. The point is I grew up with him, and it was the way he went out, that's what honestly I think hit harder than anything. But I think that started everything spiraling, and so that's why this year's hasn't been the best year. But with a new year comes a new start,
Right.
and taking this whole year off. I mean, taking this whole year to really process everything, and now looking back at this year and realizing that there was things I would have liked to have changed.
Like?
I'm not really very hands-on with Fandom Knight. As you guys know, I just show up I'm basically what you guys were talking about with Spencer was. I show up, I talk, I leave.
Right.
Th-
Yeah,
think of
Spencer,
me-
because when and not to drag anything personal, but if people have been here long enough, they know that we used to have a guy which called himself Kage on the show. What happened was Kage and Scott, they didn't get along, and they were never going to. For whatever reason,
Yep.
I never dug 100% into it. I think it was a little more on Kage's spot than it was on Scott's, in all honesty. I think that Scott was somewhat indifferent. Scott was able to work with me. That's what I'm going to say. So I know he could have worked with Kage. You get the idea. But
Yep.
So
what I'm saying is that one day Kage come up to me and he's like, "Hey, I don't mean to give you ultimatums, but either I leave the show or he leaves the show." And I was like, "Well, all you do is show up and like talk. He's editing." And like he's editing and posting and like he's here every week, and I'm sorry, but like if you're gonna force that one down my throat, you're the one that's walking. Like I don't want to be an ass, but you're the one that's walking. And I remember I had a conversation with him, and he said, "No, I agree." He said, I'm not mad at you." And to be fair, he wasn't mad at me because he was still hanging out with me after the decision was made. So
Yep.
there was no hard feelings. But when we really broke it down, we were like, Scott brings shit to the table. You're just coming in and talking. Like,
well, and so with like that's why I don't like I said, even if the fans honestly don't know this, I don't. That's all I do. I come here, I talk. I don't edit. I don't look for stuff. I mean, the topics that we talk about, I just so happen to look up a lot of stuff and read a lot of articles and stuff. So I'm all. That's why I know what we're talking about, even though I don't keep track of like Discord all the time. I don't respond to anybody. And it's not that I don't like anybody. It's just that that's just who I am. I get distracted and I don't
right.
I don't like being on my
Yeah.
phone. I know that phones are important these days, but I don't like phones really.
They're a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I don't like. You could call it a little bit of an old school thing, but I'd much rather talk to somebody face to face.
Yeah.
When we had to change the whole show to Discord, it bothered me at first. I didn't like it. I hated it actually because I did like being because I used you guys not only to do the show but to get me out of bed and to get me started on my day, to get me motivated to do stuff. Otherwise, I would just sat around the house and did nothing.
Without
Same.
going too far into it, yeah, Seth is very much the same. Seth suffers from depression, and
Yeah.
this show has not only been good for him, because we get this a lot in a way that blows my mind. Sometimes we get it on this channel where people go, "I love this show. It makes me laugh. I honestly enjoy it. You guys have pulled me through tough times." Look, That's fantastic. I love the idea that we have people that have watched this show that we make them laugh, they move on with their day. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Because sometimes you need it.
You don't really think
fucking life is hard.
Let me break this one down. I know Shane's not a man who likes to talk about himself. I have no problems. I'm an open book. When it comes right down to it, Shane's right. Looking back at this last year, there's plenty of stuff I would love to change, but not so much about like the show or anything. It's all personal life bullshit. Like, I literally got fired from my job in February. It took me until like July to get a new fucking job, and now I'm about to be both jobless and homeless if I don't get some shit put together here soon enough. And I'm really like crossing fingers and toes and hoping and praying that shit works out right now.
I know. I've been keeping myself informed. I've been watching all your posts and everything, trying to, because I've been paying attention.
Oh yeah.
I only say things when I have the ability, or like when something that I said would actually mean something, because you don't need to be bogged out by a bunch of extra shit. You need to figure your shit out.
Exactly.
Like I said, if I have something to say, I'll say it. If not, I stay quiet. I read all the messages.
And my offer is still always on the table. You realize that. We've talked about that.
No, trust me. I know that one. Like I've got like 2 backups now. Like, technically 3, but
you have
I really don't want the third option of living in a tent in a cornfield next to work so I could just walk to work every day, but you know.
You have a 4th option, because unlike Bill, I do have an extra bedroom. I have a 3-bedroom house, and I have a bedroom that's not being used.
Okay.
Well, like I said, that's why fingers and toes are being crossed. As soon as this fucking property company gets off their fucking ass and get shit sorted out, I should, keyword is should, be moving into like a 3-bedroom.
There you go.
Which is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than what the fuck I got now. It's a trailer, but fuck it.
At this point, who gives a shit?
Okay, let me put it to you this way. To quote Christopher Titus, what is it? It's I'm white trash, but not white trash enough to be in the clan. Or no, it's I'm of the clan of white trash, but not white trash enough to be in the clan. That's his joke.
Okay.
But yes, so like I know I've got like 2 or 3 or 4 different backups. Like I've got a bunch of shit that literally I'm just waiting for other people to do shit before I go, cool, here's my decision. I've literally been stressed the fuck out. One of my tires literally ended up with a hole in it. I spent fucking 4 hours last night trying to fix it. Thank God I was at work, so I was getting paid to fix my car, but you know. And like, my life fucking sucks. You know what I do? I show up here, I hang out with my fucking friends, I crack some bad jokes like, hey, if you haven't seen fucking Sentai Review episode 155, watch that shit now before the porno episode gets deleted. Because that's going to go bye-bye.
I don't know.
Obviously, if you're over 18.
That probably will not go bye-bye, but it probably will be marked and fixed for an over 18 episode and age restricted.
So, as you all heard,
and it will never be monetized. That's for damn sure.
Fuck no.
Even if we flip the switch, it will be a red video.
So, as you guys have heard, 2023 hasn't really been a great year for anybody in Fandom Knight, but we got to. Change is inevitable. A lot of people don't like change, but unfortunately, you can't get away from it. It's inevitable. So going forward, I know that you guys wanted to. I know that the D&D episode is coming up, and I know that we wanted to do that in January when we came back. But what I'm suggesting is this. I looked at the calendar and stuff, and to get stuff fixed on Fandom Knight, not only fixing up the show, but fixing up personal things in our lives. With Seth's issue, I honestly believe that instead of coming back in January, I looked at the calendar and I think we should shoot for a February 10th return.
Okay, why? What's up?
This gives us time for Seth to figure out his stuff, get moved and stuff if he does get this place.
Mm-hmm.
Because it also gives us time to really retool Fandom Knight. not quite a rebranding, because if we rebranded it, we'd be calling it the Proto Show featuring Fandom Night.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, about that.
But but
As the ideas guy and PR, because if Nick is HR, then I am PR, because I'm the one that talks to the fans more than. Well, no, I take that back. Bill probably talks to the fans more than I do, but I have more time to do so working third shift. It would be Fandom Night featuring Proto Guy.
well, as the head of the union of Fandom Night, I am going to fight you tooth and nail on this. So
But
we,
Nick is HR. We
and-
don't have a union. We're non-union yet at the moment. But at the same time, it's because we don't make any money. Once we make money, then Greg will be in charge of the union because we need an outsider to handle the union.
But so I'm just saying that I think shooting for February return gives us time to retool it, fix up the things that we need to fix up, come up with better ideas, different topics. Really, I know it's going to be hard to get everybody together in person, especially with Seth's situation.
Right.
But that gives us time. That gives us another month, and to really sit down, figure out what we want from this. Because I'm one of the biggest advocates for keeping the show. Because like Seth, I use this show as a distraction because like I said, my life hasn't been all that great lately.
Right.
So I don't want the show to go away. I want the show to get better. And I don't give a shit if we make money off of this. We've been doing this for so long now. We haven't made a penny off of it. I don't care. I do this for fun. If the fans show up, they show up. If they don't, sorry guys, I don't care.
Well,
I know
you might want to listen to the thing that I posted in the Discord. I posted a comment. It's a sound wave comment for the anime section. And I specifically talk about anime. One of my biggest fucking problems with it is hey, let's fix this. I need to be super strong. I spent 2 weeks off camera. Now I can do anything. I climbed up a tower and trained for 4 days. I can kill a guy that originally used to be able to swat me with his hair and defeat me. Like, that's ridiculous. Because I talked about all the work that I put in this year. And like, yeah, this is somewhat of a self-promotion, but it is tagged to what I'm talking about. I started this year at 311 subs. That was it. 311 subs. I am nearing the 850 mark right now. I posted 129 videos this year alone. I broke my ass. Every single video I posted has a custom thumbnail. Every video I posted has a photography that went with it. Every video I posted has full editing and annotations. Like, not just like, hey, I had to do this. I have to move the camera, set up marks, do the figures, do the reviews. There's usually 4 segments to every single one of those videos. When I was done with all that, I didn't grow like fucking Goku. I don't get a 4-day major power boost. I'm all of a sudden at 17,000 fucking subs. It doesn't work that way. It takes real time and real effort to succeed the way that you want to succeed. And this would be no different. If you want this to work, and you want it to work the way you want it to work, it has to be restructured from the ground up. And we have to figure out what we want, how we want it, and then start doing it. And not look for any kind of, oh, look at all the success. That's bullshit. Because it'll not be there the way that you want it. It has to be there the way that we want it.
And so shooting for that target gives us, like I said, gives us time, gives us new ideas to make the show better, because it has been stuck in limbo. And going forward, it needs to, what needs to happen is, and and everybody knows. I mean, anybody in Fandom Night knows that this is the truth. When it comes down to retooling stuff or trying to fix stuff, we talk about it, but we don't do anything about it. And that's the
Yeah.
whole part about change. We need to start. We need to start doing more. I need to start doing more. I'm probably never going to be the editor, but do need to contribute more. When it comes down to it, I don't contribute enough as it is. If I did my own stuff, if I had my own, I have my own YouTube channel, but if anybody goes to it, I don't have anything posted. I just don't post anything.
Don't
I
worry.
just
If you
watch.
go to my YouTube channel, I basically said fuck this and damn near salted the earth and burned it down.
But I don't. But if I made a channel about stuff that, let's say, Bill didn't care about, just wasn't into him, he would still watch my stuff because to support what I'm doing. I don't even do that. When Bill posts his stuff about Motu, it's a topic that I'm not really into. While I did watch that Netflix series and enjoyed it, and I thought it was good, I'm not a He-Man fan. It's not my fandom. It's never going to be my fandom. It's hard for me to watch stuff that I'm not really into because I can't keep. I don't want to disrespect him by not giving him my full attention. But I don't watch his stuff, and it's not because I don't. He does a bad job. I think he does a really good job. Like he said, his subscriber count is increased. His viewership count's increased. You've seen the work that he's put in. At the same time, I never watched Seth's stuff either, and not because he did bad content. It's just because if he was playing a game I had no interest in watching or playing, I didn't want to just. I didn't really want to use them as background noise because it's kind of disrespectful. I wouldn't want somebody to use my content as background noise if uh while they're doing something else. I would much rather, people hear what I have to say. But that's just my opinion. But things going forward need to change. Things need to evolve to make the show better, to make, try to get more fans in here by doing content that is relevant, but also doing content that fans want. The burnout the burnout can go away, and taking an entire month off while we get stuff figured out could be the remedy for a burnout. But we don't want to primarily be known as just the Sentai review. While it's been fun and it's what got us to where we are now, you don't forget what got you started or where you got your start from. But at the same time, it gets a little I'm going to say it boring. I get bored fairly easy, and it gets pretty boring, especially if the costumes or the robots or whatever we're reviewing are not catching my attention. If they're not catching my attention, I don't give a damn. And that's disrespectful to the show.
No,
I
yeah,
just
that's
don't.
exactly what that's what I was saying is that if I don't want to lose what we've done and I don't want to lose what we do, but we've got to get ourselves back in a space where we give a shit to do what we do, because the episodes, if we don't care and we're forcing ourselves to content, the content will be bad. It will be bad.
To be fair, I don't really feel disrespectful. I just feel like a bad friend now because I'm looking and I think, yeah, I missed the last 8 uploads Bill did. Shit.
To be fair, I'm when I tell you I've been breaking my ass, that's no joke. For anybody that doesn't know, my channel posts almost 3 to 4 times a week.
Yep. And the last one I watched was the Iron Man. So I got
that Iron Man is good. I can't believe I put an Iron Man on my shelf and was fucking happy with it.
Same. But yeah, I got like 8 videos to catch up on. And I got no problem listening to shit in the background. But goddamn, I feel like a bad friend now. I'm like, fuck, how have I missed that many videos?
My stuff is different too. I think it's misunderstood sometimes, and I very much get it because I focus mainly on toys. But I don't think people realize until they watch my show that my show is only partly about the toys. It's an excuse to talk about stuff.
Yep.
So all of my content bleeds into other shit. Like today, I posted Zorana. Well, Zorana, first off, I have no fucking clue who Zorana is. I was not into G.I. Joe like that. I don't give a shit. I won't give a shit. Not for a long time. I did buy the G.I. Joe series just because I'm morbidly curious. I want to see what that old series was like. Just like I bought the entirety of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 80s because I want to watch it as an adult and say, was it really worth the shit? Some of it's really bad, by the way. Like, there's things that you can appreciate about it, but wow. For anybody that wants to argue that Motu was a toy commercial, no. Ninja Turtles is a fucking toy commercial. Like, yep. I mean, it is night and day, the quality of story content between these two properties. Like, it's unreal. But
I know. I bought, because of their commercials, I bought their merch.
Bought their toys, yeah. But like,
yep.
the thing that I do often is like, so that entire episode where I'm talking about Zorana, I talk about Road Warriors, I talk about Max, what the fuck? All of a sudden I drew a blank. Mad Max. I talk about Mad Max. I talk about Walking Dead. I talk about Return of the Living Dead. I talk about body caps and like what I prefer to see in like Warriors and content in terms of like, if you're going to sell me on the idea that this guy's like hiking through the woods or doing this or doing that, like that person can't look like a supermodel. The muscles don't make sense. I talk about like how intricate the sculpt is as compared to the toys that I grew up with. My content is their long-form toy reviews that talk about the overall fandom that bleeds into every single toy. So it gives me an excuse to talk about all different kinds of topics. So oftentimes a 20-minute video by me will be 5 or 6 minutes actually talking about the toy, and the rest of it is talking about stuff. Like why I'm into it, stories about my childhood, how I see certain things. It's all green content, which green content specifically means you could watch it at any time and you could get something out of it. Like I talked about Iron Man. I talked about why I don't like him.
Yep.
That video goes into why I don't like him, why he irritates me in the comic books, and where my area of expertise came from in comics and why it hit back against Iron Man. Because I was an X-Men fan. And if you're going to convince me that the hero of that story is building the White Sentinels, what? He's also one of the guys that led the war against the mutant nation because of incorrect scientific data, because he briefed the Avengers on a bunch of shit that he didn't fucking understand, but he sounded like he did. He causes the entire Avengers versus X-Men problem. He did that. It was him. And then it was backed by Captain America through faulty information given to him by Tony Stark that led him to the shores of the mutant nation where they said, "Give us the girl." And Cyclops said, "Excuse me, what?" And they said, "We're here to take the girl. We're not asking, we're telling you. We're going to take the girl. Give her to us, or we're going to take her." And Cyclops said, "Listen, I'm going to give you one chance to walk away from this. And then I'm going to make you leave. Because just like all the other times in history, you didn't come here and ask, and you didn't come here to discuss a problem with us. You came in here to throw down the authority. And I refuse your authority." And that starts the entire fight because right after that, they basically like dropped the Hulk on the mutant nation. They were like, "Okay, drop the Hulk." And I'm like, "Oh, well, we fighting now. Like, that's it. You've thrown down the fucking gauntlet. We're fighting, and I'm on the X-Men side on this one. You're in the wrong." And those kinds of things, that's where a lot of my stuff came from with Tony. But then I also use that video to talk about things that I like about Tony. I like that
Yep.
he's a flawed individual. I like the alcoholism and things like that he has to get over, and he has to see in himself. And he has to realize what kind of person he was and what kind of person he wants to be. And not necessarily that he is that person, but he wants to be that person. And that's going to take some real hard decisions on his front to do things that are kind of against his pre-programming. And those kinds of things, that's where a lot of my videos go, is into fandom discussions because of toys. Like I talk about why Black Widow is my favorite of the MCU Avengers, because there's a real reason why I prefer her over the rest of them. And it's a real reason. It's not because Scarlett Johansson is hot.
Oh, you mean like most men?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Because oftentimes if I tell somebody it's Black Widow, that's the one that I specifically like the most watching in the Avengers, and they're like, oh, I know why. No, you don't. You don't.
Oh, I know why. I do.
Yeah, well, just for me to wrap it up for myself, just because I got to get going here soon, because my great aunt just got a hold of me saying that she needs some help with some shit.
Okay.
So 2 quick points. One, I jumped back into the actual video chat, and I'm not sure how long ago he said it, so I'm sorry for that one, Scott. But he said even Team 4-Star had to change too, and he's not wrong. A lot of YouTubers had to change. Fucking Jacksepticeye changed, Markiplier changed, the Game Grumps changed, Mr. Beast has and is in the middle of changing. Fuck Rich over at Review Tech USA to put, somebody who's just like in between those two tiers of YouTubers has changed.
James
like
Rolfe.
lots of YouTubers. James Rolfe
Rolfe
has had to change
And
several times.
And just recently, breaking news just a few days ago, another YouTuber will definitely have to change, and that's the Completionist.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
He's
dead
done.
in the water. No
No
more.
way. He doesn't
I know.
get. I will be shocked if he gets to change. He,
No, I mean
regardless
his channel.
of how feel, regardless of how anybody feels, he stole money. It's the same as stealing.
It is.
He basically took money for a foundation and kept it.
Yep. So that whole channel has to change, since he was a big I don't know, focal point of it.
Yep.
But
exactly.
they have to change, and not my opinion, for the worse, because not only if they change, even if they changed hosts and stuff, that channel has a stigma on it now.
Trust me, there are a lot of channels that have stigmas now.
Well, but when it comes right down to it, what we're talking about right now, we've been doing the same thing the same way. We started folder diving, where we just look at pictures and talk. We started that with Go Ranger.
Yep.
And
that
guys,
video was where we started the folder dives.
And guys, now that end of the year confessions, confession time with Proto Guy.
Is that going to be better or worse than Shane Butcher's the name?
I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to make it a segment yet. I'm still
fair enough.
Still working it out. The folder diving thing, at first it was fine, but over time I actually freaking hated it.
Yeah.
I hated absolutely everything.
Fair.
I hated everything about it, because it's not what I picture when I picture a show talking about Power Rangers. That's not what comes to mind. The ideas that we strayed so far from them that Fandom Knight's not even recognizable anymore.
Right.
And it's not what we started.
Which is the reason, when we're done with this video, I don't know how long it'll be, couple days. The entire channel is going to all the playlists will be deleted, and the channel will be privatized. Basically, every video will go private, and then I will either unprivate each video as it goes on, as it gets fixed, and goes back up. And like I said, my intention here is not to delete a bunch of shit, not to change it necessarily. I'm not ashamed of the past or anything, but I want the videos to work. I want them to be fixed. I want you to be able to find them.
And
I want them
possibly
to be
fix audio issues where timing doesn't line up with video.
right.
Giving you guys better content or fixed content, making it easier so it's not so damn hard to find something that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're trying with that, you know, it's going to be a while before we're back up. But
Well, see, here's the thing. While I fix the videos, when we come back, even if the videos are still being fixed, that's part of the reason for using the Premiere system. Is that if there are videos that have to be changed to go back into long format or whatever, I can Premiere those. I can re-edit them, post them as a re-edit, mark the original post date, post them, they're done. They're back on, no content is lost whatsoever, the old video is removed or whatever for whatever reason, and that's fine. And we can move from that point and we can continue posting other content. We won't stop our normal posting. Yeah, and that's true too, because maybe, yeah, and he's, right now, Walking Meme is saying it, they're not being deleted. You're reorganizing them back to start. And it's true. That's exactly what we're doing here. So I need people to understand I'm not trying to remove crap.
But we're going back to bases.
Yeah. And then as we post up things, like as videos go up where they're like, hey, here's the playlist for Final Fantasy, the entire Final Fantasy Legacy discussion. Some videos, they are going to go the wayside. It's inevitable. I can't in good conscience necessarily keep the flashbacks up. Some of them are going to go away because they sound terrible. There's zero redeeming faction. There's zero redeeming anything in them. You can't even listen to them. They're fucking atrocious. They gotta go.
I was gonna say the subject matter maybe, but that's almost nigh impossible when, like you said, you almost can't even fucking listen to the damn thing because of how shit everything sounds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm
gonna take some of these videos that are long that talk about 9 different things, and I'm gonna be able to break them into their own videos and upload them so they're in a chapterized format that you could find them if you wanted. Like we talk about in one video, we talk about like physical versus digital. Okay, why not take the 2 times we talked about that, make it one video, post it, and it's done. And if you ever want to know our views on that, you don't have to skim through 4 or 5 videos to find it. It's right there. It's right there. It's a video. You can just listen to that video. That's what I want. I want the channel to be fixed so that also people realize that we're talking about a lot of different things all the time. Because this will fix it. This will make it so you can go in and be like, oh, they did talk about that. Oh, they did talk about this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, which I did shoot you a third one in the messenger. But the other thing, in terms of points that I did want to bring up is, well, yeah, there's definitely going to be a bit of a restructuring with everything.
And yes, the random folder dives, those are videos that need fixed. Because that was just brought up. They will be broken into their own folders so that they actually have tags and you could find them. Like we talked about Turban Moon Man.
Yep.
Where is he? What fucking video? I don't know. Do you?
If you give me 10 minutes, I might be able to tell you.
You might be able to, but I bet you probably couldn't just look it up. You can't find it.
In terms of looking it up, probably not. No, but
I could fix that.
In terms of that,
I could break those videos into segments so that they make sense and they post as their own chapters, and then you would be able to go in and find them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because
or if you didn't know we talked about it at all because it was at the end of something and you weren't even around at that point because you'd moved on and you didn't go back to listen to the rest of the live, well, there it is.
Right.
There's
'Cause
the
it's
10-minute
either-
segment where we broke off and talked about a certain character or a certain thing. And I don't think I need to break up things like, there's like the Batman episode where we talk about all the Batmans. That's fine, let it be that. That
Right.
doesn't need chapters necessarily. I just need to re-tag it so the Batmans are in there. That's all.
And Turban Mask, I want to say, would have been either included in the Space Sheriff trilogy, or it would have been in the This Is Your Fault episodes.
Look at that. So there's 2.5 hour episodes that you have to go skim through to find the one thing you want to listen to.
Right.
I can fix that. When I repost the content, if that's one of the videos that needs to be broken into segments, I'll break that video into chapters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lose anything by doing that. We don't lose any of the content. Let's be honest here. The podcast is down if nobody's noticed. It's done.
Yep.
We lost the website. It's gone. We lost a lot of content. So that's another thing too, is there's certain videos that are going to be moved over here that nobody's thinking about yet. Like the controller pileup. I have like 12 of those videos that are actually safe. They're going to be posted here. So that at least the content is never lost. And you could come here and you could know that we used to do an entire podcast on that.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get my hands, this might be like an income tax thing, but to be fair,
I think we did
Technically
lose
need
something
money.
though. And I really don't know for sure, but I think we lost.
To my knowledge, there's only one episode that's a guaranteed loss, and that's because I was being a dipshit one day. It was when all three of you were being forced at work, and it was just me and Scott repeatedly doing episodes. So I purposely was trying to like goad you guys into showing up to Jeremy's when we were recording at Jeremy's to like punch me in the nuts as hard as you could, because then at
Yeah,
least you
damn
guys
it.
would be there for a fucking episode.
Yeah, we lost it. I just went looking for it. We no longer have. That's a shame. I wish we didn't lose that. Comics Toss is gone. The entirety of it.
I can almost guarantee I still have Comics Toss, and the reason being is because
You think you have the hard files? Because if you
I'm
have
pretty
the files,
sure I do.
if you have those
here's gonna
files,
be-
I want them. Because I
Well-
will edit those and re-upload them.
So here's the downfall to that one.
Oh, fuck.
It's either on my old busted laptop, which
Fuck.
means it could fall apart at any moment, if not already be erased, because I haven't fucked with that laptop in like 2 years. No, because I got this laptop like in the middle of the year.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't fucked with that laptop in a hot minute. The other place that it could be is on the hard drive of my busted ass computer, which is why I was saying, come income tax time, if I have enough money and I've already got a place to live and everything is worked out perfectly and I'm copacetic, if I can get to my income tax money and buy an external hard drive reader, I believe it should be on the hard drive from my tower that I bought that I was originally using to stream before I tried to upgrade it and it went boomy kasplody. So I'm pretty sure I have it in 2 different fucking places, because I was smart enough every time that I would have to re-download the program, since I was the one that was basically updating the RSS feed.
Right.
Anytime I got a new computer and was like, okay, cool, new computer, got the RSS feed program downloaded, got logged in, everything set, fucking steal all this audio and I'm putting it on the fucking computer so I have a backup in case.
Okay, so if you have it, that'd be fantastic. I'll do a little searching and see if I get lucky and find some old file, because I have like a drive that has a bunch of the old podcasts on it. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I really hope I did not lose. I liked Comics Toss a lot. I really hope we didn't lose those episodes, but they're probably gone. In terms of this question, what do I mean by the tagging? It's very simple. When you upload a video, you have to put tags in. Tags are how it's going to reference you in the search engine. So if you want to look us up, you could type like ReploidBill, you could type Fandom Knight, you could type the Sentai Review. That's how it finds us in the system. If we did an episode and it was on a very specific Power Rangers. And then we didn't tag it properly because we got into a point there where, I mean, the tags are hideously bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to explain to you just how bad some of the tags are on these videos. I mean, they are terrible.
I can explain it quite easily. So what happens is when you upload a YouTube video, it asks you to put in the quote-unquote tags, which is how the search feature in YouTube will pull up videos. So if I were to go to YouTube and type up "man gets hit in nuts by wiffle ball bat," that means whoever uploaded those videos, like America's Funniest Home Videos or random people fucking, look at what my dumbass husband just did playing with our kid, because wives are supportive like that. It would be tagged "man getting hit in balls with wiffle ball bat," and then that would come up. So when you go to do the tags, we got really lazy because we're just pushing out videos, where we just type it in as like we had almost set tags where we just copy and paste the shit, and it'd always be like the same 4 or 5 things: Sentai Review, Seth Sario, ReploidBill, William Bush, Scott Action Jackson, Shane McCree Proto Guy.
Well, because what was happening, we're working overtime, and everybody's working, everybody's like barely making it at all, everybody's like forced and whatnot. Then we finally get it, and we're like, okay, we can meet up on this day. It has to be on this day. We get in there, and because everybody's been busy, we didn't even discuss what the episode was gonna be until like that Friday night at like 9 p.m. And we're like,
to be fair, we still do that sometimes.
Like, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to do this video. Well, I don't have anything ready for that video. I don't know the tags. I don't know anything about it. And like, sometimes we come in to do the random thing. Well, the random thing, that video gets like 5 basic tags. Like, Fandom Knight, yada, yada, whatever. Like 5 basic tags, like he said. Now, the problem is that then we do a 2.5 hour video. And then we come, like, then we're done. We leave and we do the things that we have to do. Nobody ever goes back in to tag that video. And we did like 6 random folders. Maybe we talked about Spider-Man. Maybe we talked about a Supergirl. Maybe we talked about a one certain Ranger show. I don't know. And since the tags never went on there, that's just a lost video now. It's just a video that gets lost in content. And if you're already on the channel and you already watch it, you could say things like, oh, well, I've watched that video like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, because you know where it is.
Yep, we don't.
But why? But the reason other people can't find that video and can't respond to it and can't discover it and can't say anything, and it will never appear in their thing, is like, say they watch a bunch of Ranger content, but for some reason we're not coming up in their algorithms. We're not showing up as like a suggestion. The reason is because our videos are poorly tagged and nobody can find us. So it's not going to come up randomly that like, hey, these guys talked about whatever Spider-Man. Even though you watch nothing but Spider-Man content, we're not going to appear because the video was never tagged properly to begin with. So it's not even a part of the algorithm. It doesn't exist. Like, that needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed badly. And it'll also make it easier for me when I put in the annotations, if I get going in that direction. If I add annotations to the videos, I need to be able to find the videos to add the annotations.
Yeah, well, another thing that needs to be fixed is I got to figure out where the fuck the brick is to my other goddamn laptop. Because now I found the laptop, but I ain't got no fucking power brick.
Yeah, I'm hoping...
Oh, wait, is this the power brick? Oh, shit. Hold on.
I'm hoping I didn't lose those. I really do. I liked Comics Toss a lot. We only ever got to do X-Men, and I feel like that had a lot of potential. That could have been one of our best shows had we been able to go on from X-Men and do some other shows. That really sucks. If we lost that content, that sucks, and there's no way to get it back. It was never posted on YouTube.
And we didn't have any backups either.
No. We were supposed to have a backup. And for a while, we did have a backup that was traveling.
Yep.
I don't know what happened to it.
I don't either. Because last I knew, it was supposed to be our disembodied voice was supposed to have been paying for one of the
No, we had a physical drive. There was a
the
physical
physical drive?
drive that was
Okay.
being passed around, and that physical drive had all the podcasts on it. All of them. And then whenever they were updating, but then we ran into a problem with that too, because like for a while there, it was like it got really messy where like you were uploading a thing and like fixing so and so tags, and then like the thing would get passed around and it would go to like it would go to me, and then I'd put some stuff on it, and then it would like go to Scott, and then Scott would like send files to you, and then you would like, and then it got to be a real mess, and we stopped
Yep.
that physical drive. I don't know where it went.
Well, to be fair, I never got the physical drive. What I got is,
No, it
like
was
I
sent
said, our
to you.
disembodied. Was it?
No, not
Oh,
the
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
drive.
Yeah,
That's
not the
exactly
drive,
well.
yeah.
Those were coming from a physical drive that was supposed to act as a backup in case we lost the website, because we
Right.
almost lost the website once.
Yep.
And I wish that we all wouldn't have been in the state of mind that we were in, because when we were told we were losing the website, we should have went in and actively downloaded the entire catalog to never lose anything. We did
Right.
not. We did
No,
not.
we just didn't care at the
So-
time.
That's
So that-
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of it. And that most of those shows I can recover some of them. I have the entirety of damn it. Controller Pileup. I have that entire series. I don't have Comics Toss. That's the only one. I'll be honest, if I lose all of it, it's
Oh,
whatever,
shit.
because I can recover. But I loved Comics Toss. That was one of my favorite shows we ever did. Ever.
I liked our gaming talk.
Which one you talking about? Because I have all of Controller Pileup. That's all going to go on Fandom Night. When we do the reboot, all of those are going to go up as premieres. I have all of them.
All the controller pileup I miss. Not just that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Part of me missed how we used to talk about the Final Fantasy when we did the Final Fantasy.
Oh, Legacy of Gaming.
We have almost all of that. We've lost random episodes of like part 1 for some reason. Because like I said, YouTube just randomly deleted a bunch of videos.
So with that, there's a lot of I'd like to go back to talking about gaming in certain, like, I have the channel talk about that.
No, absolutely.
Or
And that's part of the premiere system. We'll be able to reintroduce the idea that we like to do that by fixing up those videos, posting them as premieres, and then there'll be a normal swaying content that gets posted week to week, so that people will get used to the idea that this is other stuff we talk about, and maybe it's other stuff that people will like here and there. Some people are going to show up for what they're going to show up for. I get that. Some people come here for one specific thing, and that's fine. But the other videos don't even appear in the algorithm. Most people don't even know we did them. So that's part of what this is going to fix. It'll give us the chance to do things like talk about that stuff again, because it'll come up more. It'll be on the channel. It'll have its own playlists. We're going to fix that.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
so I believe that
Come on, laptop. Work for me.
were we talking about doing when we come back? Were we talking about coming back for the first episode of the new year being the D&D?
It's under discussion, yes. What's up?
Okay. I was just I was just curious on what we had planned for the first episode coming back. I don't know. There's things I want to bring back. There's things I want to do differently. But I have ideas that I want to run by. everybody?
We'll have time, because that's the point of the break. This break is going to be very different than other breaks that we've done. It's going to be a bit of a reset for the channel, and it's going to be a lot of time for us to actually discuss what we want to do coming back, if we want to change certain filming formats and things like that. This thing that we've been doing where we just kind of post up this like chat thing, this is basically, it's been a placeholder, because for a while now it's already been under discussion that we need to figure out what it is we want to do.
Yep.
And how we want to do it. And if there are format changes, that'll be coming into play probably as we come back and figure out what those format changes are. And there's things that have always wanted to happen that never came. Like for the longest time, Nick has been talking about wanting to do live Let's Plays with fans and whatnot here. He's been wanting to make that more of a thing. He's into that streaming shit. He wants to do that. He wants to play some games with us on here and hang out and things like that. We've never really done it. The closest we ever came, the most successful we've ever come to doing that, to doing an actual running stream that lasted, we did 14 episodes straight. And they were big episodes. They were like 2.5 hours, sometimes 4 hours long, were the Sons of Khan.
Yep.
That was the most successful play-together live stream that we ever did, ever. We got like 14 episodes out of that. The Sons of Khan was working.
So rebranding, retooling, whatever you want to call it. Reboot.
Hold on, Shane.
Holding.
Yep, holding.
A lot of guys are just like, wow, they just got silent all of a sudden. Like Seth is really building this up.
He really is, man.
Jesus,
Fuck, I don't know if it's picking it up then.
Nope.
Oh,
I don't hear anything.
Mm-mm.
What were you trying to do?
Hold on.
The chair's pretty cool compared to what we had in the book, where you just had like the little wheels.
How about now?
I'm hearing something.
I hear it.
Me, I'm the same. I'm 50-50 with the Xavier's.
What's that?
Oh, wait, whoa, there's that fucking Comics Toss? Do you have all of it?
Well, let's see here. First of all, shush. I have Episode 1, Night of the Sentinels. Episode 2, Master of Magnet. Episode 3, Creepy Grandma is Creepy.
Yes!
Episode 4, Thank You. Episode 5, Apocalypse, which is spelled Lips.
Awesome.
Episode 6, Crossovers.
Yes.
Episode 7, Days of Future Past.
Yes!
8 is X-Men The Final Decision, and 9 was Pride of the X-Men. That's what I have.
That's all of it. You have the entire series. We finished X-Men Season 1.
I packed this shit up, motherfucker.
That's fucking fantastic. You did. So I need that. I will edit that for the channel during the break. I fucking love that show.
Let's see, because I've got Toss, Fandom Knight,
That
Jobber,
has to
Legacy
stay
of
up.
Gaming, Pile Up, POF, whatever the fuck. Oh, Pages of Fandom, Random Shit, Sentai, What's Up, and something just called Episodes. The fuck was Episodes?
Yes.
Oh, What's Up episode 52. Okay.
If you got to send that to me on fucking OneDrive or whatever you got to send it to, I need Comics Toss. I will edit Comics Toss. I will put video to it. We will repost it. That fucking show is good. That show is so fucking good. And like, it's legit good. That show's fantastic, especially with X-Men 97 just around the corner. It's launching next year.
Yep.
We can't lose that show. Like, that show is good. I had a great time discussing X-Men.
Excuse me.
We did the entire
it was
first
also
season.
especially fun, at least for me, just because, and this is no slight against him, but like, we would get into the actual like adult topics that they were talking about in the show.
Oh,
and
the
like,
philosophies of X-Men.
Yeah, and Scott just couldn't wrap his brain around it. Like, what? It's a show.
Yeah, me and him see that. Me and him
Like
see it
Cargo
very
Burr.
differently. We had literal fights on that, but they were good because it actually showcased the way that different people watch shows. For him, it was a Saturday morning cartoon where he watched it and there was like excitement and laser beams and shit. For me, it was a life-changing discussion about society.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was a very different kind of show for me as opposed to him, and I view the characters in very different ways than he does. Like when I discussed Rogue, and he viewed it from his point of view, like, oh man, she's so hot, you wish you could touch her. And then I was like, she's an entire idea on curses and why people feel removed from society. Like, and then I went into the entire philosophy of it, and like me and him, we don't agree on that show because we watched it very differently. But like when we get on a roll on that show is fan-fucking-tastic. Especially
Here's
when
the question
Cyclops
I
is
have
trying
for you,
to
Bill.
sneak. When Cyclops is
Right.
sneaking, you don't find that man. Just leave him alone. Just
When Cyclops is sneaking, don't take a peeking.
yeah, when Cyclops is sneaking, don't take a peeking. That was fucking funny as shit when he was like, when they were like, who's that guy down here? And he's like, what, bitch, look at me, brow. He took the entire tower down.
Well, here's the question
that shit
I have
worked.
for you then, Bill Guy.
Remember, we talked about that because that worked in every episode where he was like, what, bitch, see me, brow. And then all of a sudden we got to like one of the last episodes, and he walks in the room, and that gigantic sentinel is sitting in that chair, and he's like, who is this mutant? And Cyclops turns around like, bitch, don't see me, brow, and it does nothing, and he's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. That always works. We
Right.
gotta go right now.
Now, do you still have access to the Dropbox?
I don't know. Just send it through Google Drive. I haven't touched the Dropbox in a long time. Just send me an email or something through Google Drive. I'll download the whole damn thing. Because I will edit the shit out of that. I love that fucking show. We cannot lose that show.
Oh no, guys, run! The Sentinels are adapting. Brompy doesn't work anymore.
Dude, that was fucking funny as shit when he browt that sentinel and did nothing, and he was like, oh fuck, we should get the fuck out of here. Oh shit.
I'm looking forward for them bringing back X-Men '97. I'm curious to see if it's going to be any, if it's going to be worth it.
That's going to be something to think about too, because if I post up all of Comics Toss, it's an excuse for us to go in and discuss the rest of the series, and then when 97 does come out, we can discuss the episodes. We'll have a reason to do it. The show will not be dead. It'll be here. It'll be viewable. It'll be another point of content that we can actually delve into talking fandom. Like that's a big thing. Like that show is good.
Oh, damn. I don't know if these are going to work.
A lot of different.
I was going to try to send you everything that I have, but a few of them are .sfk files, and I don't know if you're going to have a way to fucking even look at those. Piss.
What?
Luckily, not from Comics Toss, but like other shit. Like, because I'm noticing that, like, okay, so What's Up 2 is a .sfk file for some reason. The
Right.
fucking the 50 Shades of Rhino shit is a .sfk. Godzilla versus Gojira is a
50
is a fucking
Shades of
SFK.
Rhino
and it's
shit.
like,
Oh my god, yes. 50 Shades of Rhino shit. That's actually still on my channel, I believe, and it's called 50 Shades of Norman Bates.
Because I remember that.
I just call it 50 Shades of Rhino shit because it's 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm like, whatever.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Send that to me today. I will start working on
doing my
that.
best.
No, that's fine. Whenever we figure out, however you figure, we know you have it. That
Yep.
was step one, because that show is fucking good. That is the one show I do not wish to lose. Because damn it, I love that show. I mean, I did. When I tell you there are certain things that I miss, I miss the two shows I think I missed the most out of what we did was I loved the controller pile-up. Those are good, genuine discussions about video gaming. Even though I would argue the first 2 or 3 episodes, they have a specific rough point because you guys at first did not understand what I was telling you. That this was a discussion about video games and technology. And specifically, how this was going to work was that we went around the table and you could bring up either a game you're looking forward to, a game you're currently playing, or there was another, or a game...
game that you wished had like a sequel or something.
Yeah, or something of that nature. Or yeah, and then it was misunderstood that the idea was to get the conversation moving, and then we run with the conversation. There's a couple points where we get the conversation going, and it's fucking going, and it's really good, and we are arguing, but we're all having a good time, and it's you can feel it. It's working. The video is very much working. We're all in our element, and all of a sudden, over in the corner, I remember this one happened. Scott was the first one that misunderstood it. He was like, so like, when am I going to get to talk about the stuff? And I was like, we've been talking about the stuff. And he was like, well, I never got to bring up what I was looking forward to or yada, yada. And that happened a couple of times before it was realized, because then like we would move like, okay, well, I think we're done with this topic. Where are we going now? And it would go over to the next person. And the next person would like all of a sudden be like, they'd like bring up all 3 topics. And I'm like, that's not what we're doing. That's just going to make us sit here and talk weirdly. And it took a while for the show to really hit its stride. But when it did, that show was great because we always knew of those 3 topics we had something running. Did you discover something recently? Are you playing something that might be old but might still be awesome? Let's talk about it. Is there something coming out that we can't wait to get our hands on? Let's talk about it. Like, it worked. The 3 topics led us into multiple conversations that always worked. Like when we discussed Kingdom Hearts. That worked. For me. I did a lot of bitching.
Yeah.
I did a lot of bitching on that episode. I know it shocks you. I know it shocks you.
Really? You bitched about your favorite fucking series?
About my favorite fucking series. I did. I really did. And your wife was in that episode because she wanted to like defend it. And I remember this still sticks in my mind. I remember the fuck up, and I would not fix this when I posted the episode, by the way. When I post this episode on Fandom Knight, I will not be fixing this. It's going to be there so everybody can fucking laugh at me. They're all going to laugh at you. I'm going to post it because she got me so mad when I told her I can't stand fucking... It's bad enough that the fucking game is done this way and it doesn't even follow its own fucking rules, but then it plays as this massive cliche. Who are the bad guys? Oh, fucking deep-voiced cloaked guys. And she goes, oh, okay, sure. Well, if we're going to do that, then I'm going to put it back on you. Who's the main bad guy of Star Wars? She was like, Darth Vader, cloaky black guy, cloaky like dark suit guy. And I was like, no, it's fucking not. I was like, the main bad guy, the guy that's fucking running the show in the original first Star Wars movie. And I was so pissed that I fucked his name up. I didn't say Tarkin. I called him Mothra because I was so pissed I fucked it up and said Grand Mothra. Because she had me fucking going at that point. And instead of saying Grand Moff Tarkin, I was like, fucking the main guy is Grand fucking Mothra. God damn it!
Yep.
And then a meme was born.
Right. But see, those... That's perfect. Those episodes work. I don't want to lose those episodes. And I have all those. I have those episodes. Those are going to go back up on here. And so they'll be fine.
Yeah, well, Bill Bourbon says the Senate would like a word with you.
Yeah, I saw that, Bill. The Senate would like a word with you. I was like, Grand Mothra! Fuck! It's like, God damn it. I fucking did that. And Seth, without losing a beat, was like, yeah, it's Grand Moff Tarkin. He immediately was like, yeah, it's Tarkin. It's definitely Tarkin.
No, dumbass.
And I was like, I feel like fucking moron right now.
Man, I feel like I can't defend my fandom because I can't get the names right.
I was like, damn it, that was brutal too. I was like, I just fucking lost it. I just put on Grand Mothra in here, fucking.
And now it makes her point. And
yeah,
like,
and it made her point. Like I almost lost the ability to fucking argue at that point. I was like, God damn it. By the way, I bought Peter Cushing last night. I got Peter Cushing. I don't know why. I do. He's so great.
Did you ask his family?
I was going to we went to meet my dad at this place called Po' Boys. I know this will surprise you, but they like sell po' boys. So we went down there.
Hold on, let me dust off my shock face for that.
So we go down there and we're eating.
I had to use it.
And because we were over there, she was like, "Hey, let's go to Ollie's." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm always up to go to Ollie's. Fuck yeah, we're going to Ollie's." Cuz Ollie's buys overstock, so you never know what they're going to have. Like they've still got in there, you can go to Ollie's right now and on the shelves is the Yellow Ranger with Scorpina. They have that box set and they have it for stupid low money, like $20 instead of $60, because they buy overstock. Anytime a store gets too overloaded and they're looking to bring in their next wave of stock and they can't get rid of something, they'll sell it to something like Ollie's, and Ollie's will sell it at ridiculously discounted prices. So now
what about Sifels?
I got Tarkin last night from the Star Wars Black Series collection. I got him for fucking $6.
Nice.
And he does look like Peter Cushing. I mean, the face is a very good face sculpt. It looks very good. I also found Bounty Hunter Leia, and then I looked at her face and put it back on the shelf. No, it's terrible. But yeah, those episodes are going to go back up on here. They'll go up with a note that they're old episodes because sometimes we will discuss things that they're not, but they'll go up as premieres. They'll be the first test of something like that. So what I'll do is I'll ask you guys when you want to do it. And then I'll set the video to go up as a premiere, say Friday night, 7 p.m., just for argument. We will be able to get on here and it will play a lot like one of our live videos. It will premiere and then we can actually live chat with people in the chat while the video is playing. So we'll be able to kind of reimburse ourselves in something that we used to do, while people can discover something that they didn't know that we did. And then it'll activate the live chat, and then when it's done, it'll go up as an actual posted video after the premiere. And then so anybody that doesn't get the live chat with us would still be able to look at the live chat and would still be able to watch the video and leave comments, because then it would post as a regular video. And of course, I would be able to control it, so I would already have all the tags, so it would be tagged properly, and it would have all of its stuff in there, so it would be tagged properly, and it would go up to a playlist right off the bat, the day that it posts. And that's the way we could introduce these videos. And then, if we're catching on, if me and you and whatnot start feeling like, hey, this is working, I'd like to do another one of these episodes, then we just fucking do it. And when we come in on a Saturday, whatever Saturday we're here, or a Sunday, or whatever that we get together and do a live show, we could come in and put a new video, and it won't be labeled as a repost. That'll be the newest episode of that series, and it will get the playlist back, and we can relaunch shows that we've left behind through that. The controller pileup is not dead. We could still do it. But it has to start with fixing the channel.
I agree. And that's what's going to be happening. So I don't know what's going on now. I don't know if we're done or what.
I think so.
I know this wasn't an episode that fans were probably, waiting for. But
it has to be done, though. We have to get it out in the open that we've had our own problems, but we're not going anywhere. We're fixing the issues to move forward, and that will mean some changes, but it also means that our attitudes will refocus, and when we are doing Sentai content, it'll be worth listening to, because we'll be able to make jokes like Volcano Man and things of that nature, because we won't just be looking at pictures going, yeah, I fucking see him. Who gives a fuck? We'll be reinvigorated. And that's the whole point of relaunching and bringing back content that allows us to jump from subject to subject and have actual interest in those subjects again, because we're not just overloaded with one subject.
All right. Well, with that being said, we have. I know we didn't talk to Nick about it because he left before we had a chance, but if everybody's okay with the 10th of February, that's a good starting point to restart the new year. Give
Right.
us time to get stuff situated. Well, with that, so with all that, if nobody has anything else, I'll close it out.
All right.
I mean, the
Okay,
only
guys,
thing that I've got is, good Lord, trying to send these files is going to be a pain in my ass.
If we absolutely have to, we'll look for a time, because look, we know you have them. If you have to put them on a hard drive or like a flash stick or whatever, I'll just pick them up at some point. If they're physical, it won't matter. Maybe at some point, for whatever reason, if we're down there or you're down here or whatever's going on, or we meet somewhere, maybe we exchange a flash drive and you put them onto something physical, and I'll get it from you at some point. Hell, I make trips out to Bloomington to pick up my daughter. So, like, you know what I mean?
Right. No, the reason why this is going to be a pain in the ass simply comes down to a matter of, this computer is slower than dog shit in January, man.
Oh, sweet.
Like, I'm trying to double check to see, because I'm going to try to send
Dog shit
Comics
in January.
Toss, Legacy of Gaming, the Controller Pile Up, Pages of Fandom, some random folder with like a couple episodes in it, and all of the what's ups to you. That way then we could determine what's worth keeping and what isn't.
No, yeah, fantastic.
And yeah, 7.71 gigs would basically need to go into the Dropbox. So that's nothing crazy. But oh lordy Lou, is this about to be a pain in my ass? Because like I said, this computer's already moving slower than shit, not responding and freezing and fucking up.
Then I'd just worry about, like I said, I would just use Google Drive and send me one thing at a time. Send me the first thing to send me Comics Toss, I'll download it, we'll delete the sub, and then it'll be on my computer and your computer, and then you send me the other part. We'll just do it like that. Do it in waves.
That's what I'm trying to do, but like I said, now Google Drive is telling me that fucking Chrome is not responding.
Well,
probably because way too much.
all right,
Oh
guys.
no, I haven't even attempted to send it yet. I clicked on the file to say open this and send it.
There's also the slight possibility, I guess I didn't even stop to think about that, just to bring it up. I don't know that it would necessarily change anything, but there is the slight possibility that when we do come back, we might open something like fucking Super Chat or something. I don't know if that's actually something we're going to do. One thing I don't want to do is get into the thing where all these people are like, oh, let us stop our episode randomly and talk about fucking Blue Harvest or whatever. I don't want to do that dumb fucking shit.
Yeah, you don't wanna
Right.
I don't
You
want
don't
to
wanna
do
do
it. I have zero interest in it. We've never made any money on this. So the idea would be that if we ever did make any money on this, it would be something that didn't interrupt or distract content. Super Chat would be fine. If for whatever random reason somebody wanted to send $5 to keep the fucking microphones going or whatever, then whatever. That's what we do. And I think that's the only thing that we're really considering. But we may flip the switch sometime next year. And if we do the premieres, we would allow things like Super Chat.
There you go.
But
with
that's
that
what it
being-
would really be for. It would be for things like, we do everything. Like, all of it.
Yeah.
We have to do all of it. We have to do things like, create stuff. How do I put this? Microphones cost money, cords cost money, the fucking PA board and whatnot, and all that shit that we've put in. We've put thousands of dollars. No joke, thousands of dollars into this, and it gets harder and harder to do as we need more stuff and as stuff breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
And we frankly can't afford it anymore. Especially not with the way things are running right now. I mean, you get it. And I'm not just talking about like people's personal problems. I'm talking about right now everybody's crunched for money. So if we do that, I'm trying to keep it in a way where like that's what I said, like the super chat would be used for things like, hey, somebody wants to donate whatever. That's what it would really be for. Somebody would be like, hey guys, here's like $20 towards mics or something like that. Love what you do. And that's really what we'd be using it for. But we're still in very much discussion onto those topics. We don't know 100% if we're going that direction. Because like I said, one thing I don't want to do is I 100% don't want to get into that spot where people are like, oh, and now, before we talk about our next topic, fucking whatever dumb fucking thing that everybody's currently selling right now is fucking VPN or what the fuck ever.
Yep.
Because I actually getting tired of that. I'm tired of skipping 15 minutes per video, every video that I watch, because they're like, oh, here's fucking Surfshark. Oh my God. Hey, buy stamps.
And on this note, we'll be right back after a message from our non-existing sponsor.
No. Yeah. I actually think we do have a sponsor.
Remember, this episode of Fandom Night brought to you by Taco Bell.
Actually, no. Our sponsor happens to be Victory Cola. And it just so happens there is a Diet Victory Cola that is currently on the way. The company is planning to release a Diet Victory Cola now with 50% less victory.
50% less victory, 50% calories, 50% taste.
50% less taste. If you guys don't know, that's how old this show is. Look up, in fact, we'll post it in the Discord. There was an old video called Victory Cola, which ran, and that's fucking fantastic video, by the way.
That was a fun episode to film just because of how ridiculous it is.
Yes. Yes, it was. Absolutely. Victory Cola is so good. It's a fantastic episode. Anybody that doesn't know, I'm telling you, you would enjoy that episode. You really would. In fact, I wonder, I don't have it. If I had it downloaded, I bet you I could plug it into the, because if it's not a large file, you can actually plug it into OBS and play it as a video file live. I would be able to do that, but I can't do that. I can't do that from here. Let me do this real quick.
So if we're ready to close out the episode.
There. Now it's in Discord. Everybody can watch that amazing episode and know what the crap we're talking about. It's fantastic.
Watch that episode. It's a lot of fun. But with all that being said, you guys here, we got a lot of work to do. So we'll be back shooting for the 10th of February. If everything goes okay, we'll let you guys know if anything changes.
I will not be going anywhere.
Bill will still be doing his stuff on his channel.
Yeah, I'm posting a video almost every other day. Right now, I have videos posting every single day up till like the 23rd. Every single day.
So you guys will actually still have content until we come back. So that's good. If for any of you guys that go and watch Bill's stuff. I'm missing something. Where the fuck? Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, with all that said, now we are going to get out of here. We will see you guys February 10th, same time, with a rebranded Fandom Night featuring that awesome, super, mega cool proto guy. Okay.